number 19. And ladies and gentlemen, the gentleman to my immediate right was the very first signed ball player by the Barnstormers. Take us back to that day. That must have been pretty exciting. Spencer Marcus.
Yeah, and it's definitely a memory that I'm going to have forever, so pretty excited.
Very good. Hey, Spencer, a number of us were here on Saturday night, and I felt the key play to the game. We had just taken the lead. Robert Mackey mashed one over the right center field fence. We take that 3-2 lead. They have a runner on second, Hamilton. Fleet of foot. Line drive, base hit to center field. What's going through your mind?
I just knew runner on second, hard hit ball at me. I had to sprint towards the ball and try to get it home as quick as possible. And I made an okay throw, but Fukuda got the tag on him, so I think special goes out to him. No, it was a decent throw, but I have a lot better in me, but he made the play look a lot better.
Well, he's dynamite behind the plate. Don't sell yourself short, folks. You got a can. I said to you after the game, the Chatham Police Force wants you to register that right arm because it certainly is lethal. Hey, we watched you in that game last Saturday, hitting in the 2 spot. I love to see Spencer Marcus in the 2 spot. What about you?
Yeah, I enjoy it. It gives me a different perspective. It's a little different mindset than leadoff, which I kind of enjoy, not trying to lead off the game all the time. So I enjoy it. It's exciting.
All right. And listen, we're going to kind of change things a little bit here. A lot of people are wondering, you're wearing shorts tonight. It's not the Chicago White Sox, folks, of the 1970s when they were wearing shorts. But I know, and you got a big interview tomorrow, and we got all our fingers crossed for you. But when a student in school misbehaves, what happens to them sometimes?
They get suspended.
Yes, Spencer has been suspended, but hey, it's just one game, right? Just one game?
As far as I know, yeah.
Yeah, I'm writing to the league. It's one game. It got a little bit animated. And here's the other thing I want this crowd to know, folks, because this kid is just all world in my eyes. You always have the nicest of haircuts. And I know why. Because your mom, for free. That's just not fair. I'm paying $32 a haircut. You're getting it for free.
Yeah, I guess I just got lucky.
You did. Great fans, great parents. Tracy and Brian are always here to support you. Ladies and gentlemen, the great Spencer Marcus. Thanks, bud. That's awesome. All right, I think it's Chris McLeod and the great Ed Meyers, and I told you I'd come back with an Ed Meyers. He won 12 straight OBA championships. In his pitching career, 5 no-hitters, ladies and gentlemen. Up to the booth.
Wow, you can never turn down a Peter Cobb introduction. Welcome to the Barnstormers TV pre-show, brought to you by Great Lakes Gymnastics, where every day feels like a celebration. Hearing from Spencer Marcus off the top tonight, will not be in the lineup. He is suspended 1 game. The London Majors coming to the game tonight, number 2 overall on the IBL, 10-4 on the season, 2 games behind Welland. Barnstormers right behind them, the 3rd place team, 7-6, 4.5 games behind the top spot in the IBL. We'll break down the scene. We'll take a look at the lineups and the starting pitchers and more, all coming up. First, we're going to throw it to Atlanta Wills with Bill Atkinson.
I've got Bill Atkinson with me now. Of course, baseball icon, but also brand ambassador, or team ambassador, I should say, for the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers. So, Bill, we're in the thick of the 2nd season now. I want to know some of the different feelings heading into the inaugural season versus heading into that 2nd season with the Barnstormers.
Well, after the first year they had, it was fantastic. Now the 2nd year, they're starting to gel, but at the same time, you've got to have the pitching to keep you there. So it's one of these things that are going, got the good players, but keep it rolling.
So you still kind of have that pressure, just a different kind of pressure into the 2nd season?
Well, as a pitcher myself, I look at the pitchers and I kind of judge, but it's a little different for me because now I'm in my 70s and I'm looking at things different. But these young guys, They got to do it.
And I'm standing here in front of this very handsome portrait, might I say so. So you got a portrait here at Fergie Jenkins Field last year. We're honoring Doug Melvin with a portrait now this season. So when you walk in here every single game, does it ever get old kind of seeing yourself up there, or seeing people drink those Billy beers?
No, I kind of like it because everybody comes up and says, I love your beer, I love your beer. But that's not me, that's Dom and of course the Red Barn, but it's one of those things that Doug and I kind of grew up. He's 2 years older than I am, but we played a lot together. I mean, I was a young kid, 15, and coming up and playing with the 18s and 17s and what have you. But Doug was one of those guys that, you know, you kind of took to hang on to. So, but he's a super guy. He's, as I can put it, he's a brain when it comes to sports. He can tell you my stats. He can tell you Fergie's stats. He can tell you Ron Hunt's stats. He can tell you anybody's stats. He's just that smart. He signed 2 weeks before I signed with Montreal with Pittsburgh in 1971, and I signed October 4th. So he was 2 weeks before me. So you can figure that out. But no, Doug's a super human being. He's, I mean, he had the talent. He had everything going for him. Apparently, this old girl just didn't want to keep going.
That'll do it.
So, but it's like me. I've had both knees replaced, and I'm doing all right. But everything's going good. So.
And I find it so interesting how we kind of have this trifecta here of 3 baseball icons right here in Chatham-Kent.
Well, baseball in Chatham-Kent, we've had a lot of guys like Perry Maynard. We've had Fergie, myself, and Doug, and we've had, when I was growing up, Dennis McCord, the Marvells. Oh God, we can keep going, you know. But there's a lot of guys that can play.
Baseball is alive and well in Chatham-Kent now with the Barnstormers here too. I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to me, Bill.
No problem, big time.
Barnstormers pre-show presented by Great Lakes Gymnastics, where every day feels like a celebration. We've got the number 2 London Majors in town on a 4-game winning streak. They've got wins against Welland, Brantford, Kitchener, and Hamilton, and they come in here today 2 games behind. The Barnstormers 5-gamer was snapped on the weekend. Here's your starting lineups tonight for the visitors. Toby Simmons will start off in center. Verhado will start at shortstop. Zudnich at first base. Dolio, the all-star catcher, is DHing tonight. Rich Stein will be in right field, Niles at third base, Garner the left fielder, Verhoeven the catcher, and Harrison the second baseman. Barnstormers without the center fielder Spencer Marcus, their all-star out of the lineup, suspended tonight. Evan Morrison back to second base. That's a good sign, which means Sadler Goodwin gets back in the lineup. Lee Kusera will take over in center tonight for Marcus. Nasuki Fukuda the catcher. Yu Shinoda gets a start at DH. Mackey over at third, the former major. Braxton Haggett the left fielder. There's Sadler Goodwin, the superb shortstop for the Barnstormers. Spencer Marin in right, and Trent Sill at the sure-handed first baseman in the lineup tonight for the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers. Your starting pitchers tonight, and the London Majors have a bevy of strong pitchers to choose from. Marias will get the start, coming off a victory himself. That happened back on June 8th against Brantford, a 6-2 victory. There you see the numbers, 1-1, 3.60 ERA, 25 innings pitched, 14 Ks, 15 strikeouts. Both pitchers tonight having a tough time getting the ball over the plate. There you see the numbers for Yuri O'Connor Yokoyama, 1-0 with the Barnstormers, but a superb ERA. With the strikeouts and the walks a little bit high for Yuri Yokoyama tonight, the starting pitcher for the Barnstormers. Doug Melvin is throwing out the first pitch here tonight. There you get to see at Doug Melvin, the former general manager of the Texas Rangers and the Milwaukee Brewers. And there you see Doug getting a hug right there from the manager of the Barnstormers. That's Gil Rodon, who played with Doug in the minors, Ed.
Yeah, they played together in somewhere in New York State. I forget the town. Double A. I was talking to Doug somewhere in the late 70s, I think it was.
Yeah, Doug's going to join us up here in the booth a little bit later on, and looking forward to that conversation. Doesn't get back to Chatham-Kent much at all. He is living in the Sarasota area now down in Florida. Well, that's quite the honor, getting to meet Lefty, Ed. That's doesn't happen too often. There's Bill Atkinson, too. Lucy Thrift, a 19-year-old artist in Chatham-Kent, has done a pencil drawing, and here was just before the game. There's Mayor Darren Caniff. You see Dom Donnell on the left. That's Lucy, the artist there, and then unveiling it is Matt Curry and Harry Muir. Look at that drawing. That's by pencil.
Spectacular. Yeah, it's hard to believe that somebody could do that. I'm a guy who draws a flower with a ruler and a pencil. There's a stem, and she's really talented.
I do my scorebook in pencil, and it's a disaster. Lucy, she is talented. She's done all three of those. If you're ever here at Fergie Jenkins Field, you'll get a chance to see those. All right, game tonight, Majors versus the Barnstormers. Ed Meyers, keys to success. What do we need to look for tonight?
Well, the big thing tonight is scoring some runs. Timely hitting, I guess, would be the formula of success. We left 10 men on base on Sunday in Toronto. Had 2 runners thrown out trying to advance bases. And I think we need to shore that up a little bit. And the pitching has been okay. We didn't get off to the same start as we did last year, where pitchers had trouble finding the plate. They seem to have settled in this year, and it's been very good pitching. And so let's see if we can get some timely hits and score some runs.
London Majors are 6-0 all time, and mind you, it's a year and a couple months into their IBL history, but only 6-0 all time against the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers. There you see the Intercounty Baseball League standings, and Jack Fish 12-2 right up top there. I was talking to Roop Chandra, the manager, owner, and general manager of the Majors today, and he said that a lot of parity in this league, and you can go on a weekend and you can see a team jump from 6th up to 3rd. You can see a lot of movement. You got teams up and down this scoreboard here, this board here, that would certainly go on a run. It's good for the league overall.
Well, an example will be when we play our 3 games against Barrie this weekend. You can really up your one loss percentage, or if you lost 3, it would take a big chunk out of your standings. You could drop in a hurry. If you look at the win column there, it's they're only 1-2 games apart between 2nd and 3rd and 8 actually, and so there is a fair amount of parity, and every game therefore is important.
See those areas getting himself warmed up in the Majors bullpen here tonight. Had a long conversation with Root today, and he was just talking about some of his players. He said, man, our pitching staff has been good. Payano and Keys, a couple of lefties. He goes, I got 1, 2, and 3 that, could start for me game 1 in a playoff. Feels very comfortable with them.
How about Keys with his .35 ERA? That's unbelievable. Basically, he's given up no runs, is what that indicates. So they're very strong, very mature team. We mentioned before the game, too, that our players seem to be coming of age. We've had a little bit of experience. A couple of players have played in the Intercounty a little bit, but we're growing up together as a team and a franchise. And we do not have that experience as yet. No. And I think anyway, that we're playing with a little bit more confidence this year than we did last.
You do see that. And here, let's take a look at the weather forecast before we start going on. A lot of heat in the forecast today, a lot of humidity. It seems to get a little breeze in here now. The breeze is blowing in at us. The flags are pretty stiff coming in towards the infield right now, so we'll see how that plays out as the night goes on, but still warmer temperatures than we've seen most nights so far this season here at Fergie Field. But you're right, I was talking to Roop again, and I said that, the Barnstormers are still a young team, and he said, I kind of like that, though. You're young enough to know better. You don't know when you should go into a ballpark and you're facing a pitcher. You don't know any better. You just go out there and you play. So he said some very good things about the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers, and talked to Harry this morning too, and looking for a big weekend here. So 4 games at home tonight versus the London Majors, which will get started here in just a few minutes. Just waiting for the lineups to get announced. But then that 3 games in 3 days for the Barrie Baycats in town, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And there you see, as I say it, back on the road again next Friday, and then a home game versus the Panthers on the 28th. But that'll be a telling time here with the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday against Baycats. And you go into the weekend, too. You're really hoping you got a pitching staff that's ready to go.
Well, that's, pitching becomes so critical where you have to put 3 starters out there in 3 nights. And, of course, if they get in trouble or need some help, you're limited to the number of arms that you have on your roster. And hopefully that you can fill the need that can occur. So we're looking forward to the weekend, and hopefully our arms are in good shape, and we'll have some success.
Our chat is chatting tonight. That's what they do on the YouTube stream. Thanks for tuning in as we look at today's umpires. Stephen Gomes behind the plate, Jeff Stollard at first, and Katrina Cadat, the third base umpire tonight. Join in the chat if you want to. We throw a couple comments in there. There's a couple people who are looking for Ed Meyers fan club T-shirts, Ed. I'm not sure. We're going to work on that.
Yeah.
Josh brings up a nice fun fact for tonight's game. Spencer Marin, along with Adrian Harrison, both former Tecumseh Thunder members and current OCAA champion St. Clair Saints will face off tonight. We'll add Brock Woodson into that lineup as well. But a couple of familiar faces on both sides of the ball. You got Robert Mackey, who was a former Major too, in the Barnstormers dugout in his second season. As we pan back and see those Barnstormers here at Fergie Jenkins Field, a perfect night for some baseball.
Crowd looks to be filtering in, and we look like we will have a very good crowd again tonight. And I'm still looking out the right field line, hoping for the bleachers that someday will arrive. Another 600 or so seats that we can access, which will make things even more comfortable at the ballpark.
And I asked about the rivalry, a Majors versus Barnstormers rivalry, and he said, yeah, not yet. Maybe just the proximity, and because of that, maybe a little bit of excitement, but rivalry, not so sure. Barnstormers will take the field first, obviously, as the home team. Haggith, Kucera, and Marin round out the outfield. Mackey, Goodwin, and Morrison, that strong combo up the middle. Morrison back to second and filled in for Sadler with a lower body injury here the last few weeks. And Trent Sillett certainly bails out his infielders when they have a wild throw. He's a good first baseman. Fukuda, great catcher behind the plate. 2 good catchers in this game tonight, although Adolio is not catching, he's DHing tonight, but 2 really strong bats. And players you like to build up the middle with. And that's what both these teams have done. Gil Rondon and Roop Chanderdat still on home plate discussing the ground rules here tonight. This always happens, and they always point out to right field.
Yeah,
this short porch here.
And they're all pointing in a different direction. Yeah, what if this happens, and what if that happens? And we had a sort of a local ground rule occur last weekend with the left field grass really thick, and the ball just sort of dies. A ball hit over the third base or shortstop, it's almost a guaranteed double, and so it's something we have to look for. The spring of the year, I guess the grass is much thicker than it usually would be, and it'll be a factor for sure.
Yeah, it looks like the field has been mowed here recently. We've had a little longer than normal ground rule discussion here between the managers. What happens in these conversations, Ed?
Well, usually it's not that long. They're looking at hypothetical situations. I think, what if the ball gets caught over here or gets there? That's the sort of the local interpretation of potential plays, but usually they're fairly brief.
Let's look at Mitsuki Fukuda's numbers here on the season. Fukuda, the third spot hitter, will start at catcher. Man, he had a weekend last weekend with the arm. He has been outstanding behind the plate. The runners certainly have to be aware of him popping up and his throws down to second base. He's cut off a couple. He's got a couple guys leading off at first too.
Oh, he's quick, and he got the cannon arm. And I keep saying too, he's quick feet.
Yeah.
His feet have moved into position before he catches the ball, and therefore he's always pointing in the direction that he wants to throw. And he threw 3 out on Saturday night, and almost like videotape recordings of each other. Same throw, same spot, and not even close plays.
Well, you like the defense, and you get an offensive bat like that behind the plate, certainly is a bonus as well. Barnstormers now lining up. They're going to get set to be introduced, so we'll get to the anthem here. A little delay off the top, waiting for the ground rule discussion, and the teams will hit the field. Doug Melvin night tonight as they honor the former Chatham minor baseball product who went on to pitch in the minors. Ended up in the front office, is still employed by the Milwaukee Brewers as a special advisor. I'm looking forward to talking with him, Ed. You grew up with him, correct?
I coached him.
Coached him.
Yeah. He actually grew up around the corner from me. I grew up on Forest Street, and he grew up on Coverdale. I coached him through Pee Wee Bantam, and I also coached against him as a football player in high school at CK. He's an all-around athlete.
Well, we gotta ask him, because the story, and Fergie even said it last week when he was in, that him, Billy, and Doug all grew up in the same neighborhood. But that's not true. I've gotten some inside scoops, so I got to ask him about that. An old Wisdale that's been shared around here for the last little while. As the Barnstormers introduced here to hit the field defensively, and they'll line up and get set for the national anthems here tonight.
It's funny, Doug, every time I see him in a gathering with other people, he'll run up to me and say, "Will you tell these people I grew up on Coverdale, not Adelaide Street?" So I can attest to that.
We will certainly cover that tonight. Connor Yokoyama, the starting pitcher tonight, a lefty. He'll take them out. There you see those flags blowing in at us. Beautiful sunshine, little breeze here tonight. Great night at the ballpark, but might take a real strong poke to get that ball out here tonight.
Yeah, if anything, it definitely is moving toward us. So.
Players have exited the dugout. They are lined up. And we will now stand for our national anthem here tonight at Fergie Jenkins Field.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, if you're able, we ask you to rise, remove your caps, and direct your attention to the Canadian flag located in center field for the singing of our national anthem, performed tonight by Crystal Blue.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Ready for some baseball at Fergie Jenkins Field. Welcome the London Majors to town. 10-4 on the season. 4 games out of first. Their batting average is .299 as the team sits second overall in the IBL. Their ERA 3.23, second overall there as well. They are 6-1 on the road. They'll go up against Yuri O'Connor Yokoyama, the Montreal native, 24 years old, 2-0 on the season, 1.76 ERA, 15 in the third innings pitched. 8 strikeouts, 13 walks over that time. 6 games, this is his 3rd game started. Coming off a win at Hamilton, a 2-1 victory, pitched well in that one. That was June 8th against the Hamilton Cardinals. And we talk about the 3-3 coming up this weekend. You want some length out of your starters here to start off the week, so you can keep that bullpen fresh for a possible long weekend.
Yeah, you really do. As we said earlier, we've got quite a weekend coming up with the 3 games with Barry, and let's hope that he can have an extended outing from a starting pitcher, and he throws strikes, and that's a good start, because you got 8 guys behind you, and if you can throw the ball over the plate on a fairly regular basis and move the ball around, usually you can be successful, and so far he has been. So we'll see what will happen.
Toby Simmons, the center fielder, will lead off. Followed by Fajardo and Zadunik. I'm going to get that right. I apologize. Tucker Zadunik. I want to get that right. The first baseman, a recent pickup by Chanderdat in the majors. That's the top three. Dolio is the designated hitter, usually a catcher. Richardson is the right fielder. Niles at third base. Gunner in left field, and Verhoeven the catcher, and Adrian Harrison the second baseman tonight. Toby Simmons from the Bahamas. First IBL player from the Bahamas. Dynamic offensively and defensively. Will make you say, wow, is what the word is. 7:38, first pitch, and it's a strike from Yokoyama. Gets ahead in the count here to the leadoff hitter, Simmons. You see the numbers across the board. He's going to square to bunt again. He'll drop it right down in front of the plate. Yokoyama turns, and he's going to beat it out.
Let's give him a changeup.
Yeah, Yuri got there in time, but looks like he didn't have the angled look over the shoulder of Simmons.
Yeah.
Really deadened that ball right in front of the plate. He's got some good speed, and Simmons will get on to start the game here with a single. Francisco Fajardo, the former Blue Jay minor leaguer. Off to a good start with the bat. Still looking to move up with his baseball career and looking to get something started here after being released by the Blue Jays.
I missed part of that play. I was looking around that post,
Yes.
and he had the ball, and I thought he was going to throw him out. And then I looked, and he looked like he might have hesitated, as you said. He didn't have an angle to get the ball to the first baseman.
Yeah, Simmons put it right on the line, so his view looked like it was blocked. Keep an eye on Simmons, though. He's moving. There he goes. Fukuda comes up with it. A laser beam down to second. He gets him. Mitsuki Fukuda with the cannon. And he guns him down.
He does have that. That's quite an arm.
The right pitch to throw on, too.
Outside. Didn't have to worry about getting tangled up with the batter and made a perfect throw to second base.
Fukuda, what an arm. So Fajardo now bats with nobody on and one down. And he's going to put it to right field. And that's going to be foul and out of play. You see Doug Melvin starting to stride up here, and he's going to judge. There he is. And ready to join us up here in the booth. I'll get him situated and chat with Doug. Fajardo behind on the count 1-2 now. Yokoyama to the plate. That one off the end of the bat. That's going to be right in the right spot. Drop in front of right fielder Marin. And a little chunk over the infield. We'll get another runner on with one out. Zadunik now. Sent down from the Ottawa Titans. He's got some pop in the bat. Caden Cardoso, last year's Rookie of the Year, called up to Ottawa, and looks like he's going to be up there to stay. Zadunik comes down. Obviously, he'll look to advance, but they like the pop of the bats. Infield plays straight up. Sillett holds the runner on over at first. He's going to stroke that right at Sillett. Turn two, and they're out of the inning. 2 hits, but faces just 3 batters. The double play gets them out of the inning. Barnstormers don't allow any runs. It's no score going into the bottom of the first. It's Barnstormers TV, presented by Kent Essex Mutual Insurance, Ontario's trusted insurance provider.
My name is Spencer Marcus, outfielder for the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers from Chatham, Ontario. The community support has been amazing for baseball. Everybody coming together. You never really thought of this town as a baseball town, more of a hockey town. I remember when I found out that Kent Essex Mutual Insurance wanted to do an interview about a hometown hero. I never thought somebody would look at just a baseball player like that. It takes a lot of support to make this team a success, and the Barnstormers wouldn't be where they are today without help from sponsors like Kent Essex Mutual Insurance.
Hey Barnstormer fans, want to win a $50 gas card just for cheering on your favorite team? Grab your phone right now and snap a selfie of you and your family and friends watching Barnstormers TV. Follow and tag at CK Barnstormers and Kent Essex Mutual Insurance at KE Mutual on Instagram. You need both tags and follows to qualify for the selfie contest. At CK Barnstormers and at KE Mutual. Share your selfie before the end of the game for a chance to win a $50 gas card.
Flip into the best summer ever at Great Lakes Gymnastics. Our PA Day, March break, and summer camps are packed with gymnastics, games, crafts, and nonstop fun, all in a safe, state-of-the-art facility. Spots are filling fast, so register today.
Get ready, Hamilton.
Yeah, what did he have last year? 17 or something? It was way high.
Barnstormers ready to take the field here tonight. Rather take the bats to the field. There you're going to see the London Majors defense. Garner, Simmons, and Richardson out in the outfield. Simmons can cover a lot of ground out there. And Chimp Gardner played a lot of center last year. Got a good defensive left fielder out there too. Niles, Fajardo, Harrison, and Zadunik on the right side of the infield. Verhoeven is the catcher. And Jose Arias will get the start here tonight. Dominican Republic native, 1-1, a 3.60 ERA, 25 innings pitched. 14 strikeouts, 15 walks, 5 games, 4 of them starts. And he's coming off a win against Brantford also on June 8th. Both pitchers pitched on the June 8th, a 6-2 victory against the Brantford Red Sox. Evan Morrison, who moved over, filled in nicely over at shortstop when Sadler Goodman went down. He's been battling injuries here over the last few weeks. Morrison plays a lot of short at college. He's the Barnstormers' second baseman and some real strong numbers so far in his rookie campaign. He's going to swing away at the first pitch, hit a home run off the Maple Leafs starter. Here, drove one right away center field, got the Barnstormers off to a good start. This one will be fouled off. He's behind the count 0-1. Arias has got some pro experience, and he works quickly. He's ahead in the count 0-2. What a first inning there. A lot happening.
Yeah, that was a lot of action. We consider it was only 3 batters.
And a bunt single thrown in at second. A blue pit into right field. Then a line drive double play to the first baseman. And Morrison's going to get caught looking. First down of the inning. And Morrison set down. Lee Cusero will stride to the plate. Limited at bats for Cusero. Batting .333 so far on the year. An original Barnstormer last year. Great athlete, one of the best in Chatham-Kent in a variety of different sports.
And one of the things that is interesting, he's the provincial javelin champion at OFSA in his last year of high school. He can throw, obviously.
You see it sometimes when he throws the bat away. He just javelins it right over to the...
Oh, yeah. He had a variety of athletic adventures in high school.
Former Dr. Jack Perry Award winner. Yeah. One of the high school athletes of the year. Cusero bats to the right side. Center fielder tonight for Marcus, who is suspended. Arias inside. He's going to chop it to third. He'll come up with it. High throw. Hold on to the bag, and he's going to get pulled off. That looked to be academic. Not going to be the case. Niles came up with that cleanly and a little air underneath of it. So an error to the third baseman, and he's on.
I was just going to comment, too, that he can run. He's really quick, and he really hustled down the line, which is a credit to him. You get jammed like that, sometimes you sort of do the token jog to first base. He did not. He sprinted the whole way.
Zadunik thought he had him. Not the case, so the Barnstormers now have a runner on, and they're bottom half of the inning. And here's Fukuda, who threw a dart down to second to get Simmons, the leadoff batter, out. Strike one to him. Cusero was going back to the bag on the windup there. Cusero goes, high throw, Verhoeven's going to bounce it to second, gets by him, and into second base with a steal is Lee Cusero. Runner in scoring position for your third batter now. 1-1 the count. The home plate umpire, Stephen Gomes, giving the sign. Fajardo darts back to shortstop. Outside, Fukuda gets ahead now. Barnstormers threatening in the bottom half of the inning. Arias sets and deals. Fukuda down the line will stay fair. Crucera's got to get on his horse, and he will. He'll score easily. Fukuda trots into second, and the Barnstormers go ahead 1-0. A little barn ball in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, Fukuda can do lots of things as a baseball player. He stands in there, pulled the ball sharply to the left field, got himself a double and an RBI.
Hugh Shinoda now, the cleanup hitter tonight. 310 average. Swing a good bat there, 3 RBIs, and he's got a runner in scoring position too. Niles gave him a lot of room down the line there for Fukuda, and he put it in the right spot. To 9 RBIs, and Oda will foul the first one off.
Oda has a really unusual batting stance where the bat is almost straight up when he starts.
Arias kicks back and deals outside. 1-1, even up the count.
Yeah, it is.
Getting our special guest locked and loaded up here. Shinoda awaits low. It's 2-1. Happy to have Doug Melvin join us up in the booth here tonight. There you go, Doug. Get yourself settled. Welcome to the booth.
Yeah, it's nice being up here. Seeing a lot of people. Hadn't seen in a while.
Well, we saw you walking up here earlier, and then you darted off. Old home week, right?
I was just getting my exercise.
Running the stairs, eh?
Yeah.
Arias high and outside, 3-1. Barnstormers up 1-0. You said as you sat down, some good baseball here. Have you seen any IBL baseball?
I have not.
No?
This is the first game, but yeah, I'm impressed by the fans' reaction and the fans being here. It's really a nice atmosphere. It's better than some of the minor league towns that I played in.
Yep. Great. Well, it's Doug Melvin night here tonight at the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers game here at Fergie Jenkins Field. 3-1 pitch coming in. Over to the cleanup hitter waits. And he'll foul it off. Well, Doug, a Chatham-born kid, went and played in the minor leagues with Pittsburgh and the Yankees, correct?
Right.
Ended up as the general manager of the Texas Rangers and later the Milwaukee Brewers, and still working with the Brewers in a special
senior advisor role, but
advisor.
Pretty well emeritus position, and
yeah.
I do some things for sponsors and things like that. But I stay out of the baseball. I've made too many decisions in baseball over the years. I give it a rest.
Oda's going to foul one down the left field line. Ed was telling us he coached you back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
A few years ago, right, Doug?
Yeah, a few years ago, yeah. We've got a lot of stories to tell and over the years, and Eddie's a very knowledgeable baseball guy and should be recognized here in Chatham, too, for his talents.
Well, I was commenting earlier, too, about that you grew up on Coverdale, not Adelaide.
We got to get to the bottom of this. Oda chops one to first. Zadunik will go to the bag, second out of the inning.
I drove over to Adelaide today to just make sure I didn't live there.
That's a joke here in town. We have Billy Atkinson and Fergie Jenkins both played in majors, and they both grew up on Adelaide Street. And now, because Doug was in the major league with the Brewers, everyone presumes he must have been born and raised on Adelaide.
Well, if I lived on Adelaide, they never came down to play with me.
Well, Fergie even said it last week when he was in.
He did.
Said we all. So that's a story that's kind of had some legs for a while.
Well, it's a widely held belief. Doug did grow up on Adelaide.
I corrected Fergie once. I'm not going to do it
No.
again. You know,
Let him be. Let him go. Actually, we grew up, we lived around the corner from each other, Forest Street and Coverdale. That's where I grew up, on Forest Street in Chatham.
Arias to the plate. Mackey strokes one to center. This has got some legs.
Oh, man.
And caught.
Wow.
What a catch by Simmons. up against the fence. More with Doug Melvin coming up. The Barnstormers go ahead 1-0. We've seen some defense here in the first. It's Barnstormer TV, brought to you by Kent Essex Mutual Insurance, Ontario's trusted insurance provider.
Get ready, Hamilton. It's the 2025 IBL Home Run Derby and All-Star Game. Hosted by the Hamilton Cardinals at beautiful Bernie Arbor Stadium. Watch the league's top sluggers crush moonshots in the Derby. Then see the best of the best go head-to-head under the lights in the All-Star Game. Grab your tickets now at HamiltonCardinals.com, because this summer, the stars shine brightest in Hamilton.
Whether personal, agricultural, or commercial, Inyo Pest Advisors are here. Inyo. Bigger than bugs.
Back in the top of the second, the Barnstormers, what a first inning we had. We had some gloves on each side, and Barnstormers stroked one there. Mackey hit a bomb right out straightaway center, and Toby Simmons tracked that down. Doug Melvin is our guest here. We're chatting with him in between innings. Yuri O'Connor Yokoyama allowing 2 hits in the first, but some good defense got him out of the inning. And he goes back to work here, Ed.
Yeah, he's been strong. I say he throws strikes, and he's been very effective so far. We mentioned earlier that he comes to us from Quebec. He speaks French, English, and Japanese, so he's got an interesting background. He's pitched in Japan, and attended McGill for 1 year in Montreal, and here he is with us. So we'll see what happens the rest of the night.
Doug Melvin's our guest up here in the booth. Chatham native, former CKSS. I was going to say grad, but you pointed out you don't know if you graduated.
I think I did. I don't remember going to a graduation, but but I signed and left town. So
they had a baseball game that night. Yeah, graduation. Right.
Doug Melvin went on to be a general manager in Texas and Milwaukee, and broke some pretty long streaks before they got into the playoffs once again.
I think, Doug, you have some great stories to tell about your days with the Yankees and Steinbrenner and the sort of the old order that were part of the Yankee organization. That must have been quite an experience.
Yeah.
Stroked up the middle. Dolio. Morrison diving, can't get to it. It's going to go into center.
When I was done playing, I was very fortunate. I moved back here to Chatham, moved over to Trillium Village, and my wife and I, we didn't know what we were going to do. And Yankees called and said, "Do you want to come back and be at the Major League Club and help our Major League coaching staff throw batting practice?" Because they were an older group. They weren't real old, but it was Yogi Berra, Jim Hegan, Bob Lemon, Mickey Vernon, Jerry Walker, all really, really talented players. And I'd say I learned so much from them in the 6 years that I worked in that role, coordinating scouting reports and just sitting down and talking on the bus with these guys.
Yeah, you told me you used to hang out with them after the game because you learned so much. And they were so interesting what they had to say.
Yeah, and some of the guys, "What are you doing hanging out with all the old coaches for?" And I said, "Well, I'm going to learn more from them than I will from you."
Yeah, the back of the bus seemed like there might have been some other things going on.
Yeah. But,
strike 2 here to.
And working for George was tough. He had a managing style by intimidation and by fear, and he had everybody on the edge of their seats, but he wanted to win and he wanted perfection in that. So you did learn a lot by staying on top of things.
Sillett, what a play!
Nice play.
Trent Sillett with the glove saves a double down the line. He got some hops there, out unassisted on the first baseman.
So how many years were you involved in professional baseball, Doug, from start to finish?
Well, I signed in 1972, and so I stopped counting at 50. I think it's 50, right? This is 2025, and But really, I was pretty well retired in 2017, 18. I still was working in baseball part of it, so somewhere around that number.
You certainly had an interesting career, both as a player and an executive member in the baseball world.
Yeah, I never ever thought that I would ever be a general manager. I never had a goal to be a general manager. It just happened, and first steps, you got to be a scouting director, you got to be a farm director, you got to be an assistant GM, and I just took each step at a time when I was given those positions, and then I had great mentors. Though I had Roland Heeman.
He was in Baltimore, wasn't he? Roland.
Yeah, Roland was with me in Baltimore. He took me everywhere he went, and he was probably my greatest mentor as far as learning the game. And he'd call me and say, "I'm going to get a couple agents on the phone. I want you to sit with me. I'm going to call a couple clubs about trades. I want you to come in and sit with me." And he wanted me to learn by listening and following him, and it was a lot of fun.
It's one of those jobs you got to learn by doing, right? You can't read a book.
Right, exactly.
How to be a GM.
Haggis settling underneath of this one. Second out recorded. Dolio stays at second base. So a lot of questions for you, Doug, and we do appreciate your time here. But obviously, as a general manager, one trade, and this is a question coming in from Neil in the chat here tonight, one trade that you thought was going to happen, but it didn't for some reason. Was there one that you just got away that you still think about?
Not one that got away. There was one that we thought we had a trade of Prince Fielder in his last year of his contract to the White Sox, and I'm glad it didn't happen because he stayed with us. But, as today's world, these players get traded in their fifth year, and they don't let them be free agents because you're going to get a draft pick as opposed to trying to get prospects. But the deal to the White Sox, but I'm glad that one didn't happen. He helped us win the next year.
Haggett's going to record the third out. Hiro Connor Yokoyama gets out of the inning. You can stick around a little bit there.
Yeah.
All right, Doug Melvin more with us as the Barnstormers have set them down 2 in a row. They go back to the sticks here in the bottom of the second. Barnstormer TV brought to you by Kent Essex Mutual Insurance, Ontario's trusted insurance provider.
Whether personal, agricultural, or commercial.
My name is Spencer Marcus, outfielder for the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers from Chatham, Ontario. The community support has been amazing for baseball. Everybody coming together. You never really thought of this town as a baseball town, more of a hockey town. I remember when I found out that Kent Essex Mutual Insurance wanted to do an interview about a hometown hero. I never thought somebody would look at just a baseball player like that. It takes a lot of support to make this team a success, and the Barnstormers wouldn't be where they are today without help from sponsors like Kent Essex Mutual Insurance.
The second annual Barnstormers Golf Tournament takes place Tuesday, July 15th at Willow Ridge Golf and Country Club. Barnstormers own Garrett Day will also be in attendance. To register, contact us at the emails on screen.
Still selling critical illness insurance. Still selling retirement savings plans. Still selling group benefit plans. Still selling life insurance. Still selling disability insurance. Are you selling insurance? Not today. Play ball.
Looking for
Back with Barnstormers TV. Barnstormers a 1-0 lead on one hit. The Majors have 3 and an error. Scoreless so far. Arias into his second inning of work. Doug Melvin joins myself, Chris McLeod, and Ed Meyers here in the booth. Watching some Barnstormer baseball. We talked about the trade you thought would happen. Doug, Dom's up here as well. Dom Danella's up here. Look at this, eh? Yeah. We don't want to give Dom a microphone. We don't need to do that. There's Dom over there in the corner. Doug, we talked about the trade that you thought might have happened, the Prince Fielder to Chicago. It didn't happen. Is there a trade you look back on that you go, man, I won that one? You still look back on? You had your head on?
The best trade that I think I made is the one in 2008 when we traded for CC Sabathia.
Yeah.
And he came into Milwaukee, and we hadn't won in 25 years, and he came in, put the team on his back, and pitched with 3 days rest 4 different times, and helped us win, get to the playoffs for the first time in 25 years, and that's the one that I really like. And then there was one other one that a player by the name of Mike Young that I got from Toronto for Esteban Loaiza.
I had that written down as a Blue Jays fan,
and
that one hurt to watch.
But that was an interesting trade. Gord Ash was the GM, and later on he became my assistant for years. But they had 3 real good infield prospects: Brent Abernathy, Felipe Lopez, and then Mike Young. And I sent a scout in to watch all 3 of them, and they had depth there, so they were willing to give up one of them for Loiza. And our scout came back, and Mike Young probably had the least publicity of all the 2, but the scout said, no, this is who I like. He's an athlete. He's can play short. He can put him in center field. He's got energy to him. And so we went with him. And later on in my career, we had Felipe Lopez in Milwaukee.
Yes.
And but the guy that would have been today's world, Brent Abernathy, the analytics would have loved him.
Oh, yeah.
He had great on-base percentage. He had a little bit of power. Played second base, but he didn't have great range. But the analytics would have loved him over both those players. And Mike Young ended up getting 2,700 hits or something.
You made the right choice.
Yeah.
You made the right choice on that one for sure.
Well, that was a scout. Like I said, you got to talk to these people, and people that go out and see them. You just can't look at a computer screen and think you can make the right decision all the time.
You still got to see them, right? Like
Yeah.
A lot of the numbers game still is it's a big part of it, but yeah, you're right. You still got to see and feel it.
You were talking about that earlier today, Doug, but the different strategy today in scouting a player and what it used to be and what it is today.
Yeah. Well, that center fielder that made that catch, seeing that catch is different than just somebody describing it to you.
Yeah.
And that, but they have I think that's one of the things analytics that they're not very accurate with is the defensive range and the zone ratings and all that they have.
Full count pitch to Sandler Goodwin from Arias, and he'll foul it off, stay alive.
Used to say Robbie Alomar was overrated as a fielder. I didn't think so. I thought he was one of the best.
Yes.
Well, you got the gamer factor that you can't really put on a stat sheet, right?
Yeah.
Some guys are just gamers.
Yeah.
You start the game and they can do everything and anything.
Payoff pitch. Goodwin stays alive again, fouls it off. Doug Melvin in the booth here tonight. Doug Melvin night here tonight at the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers. Fergie Jenkins Field. When you now approach it, there's a pencil drawing of Fergie Jenkins, Billy Atkinson, and now Doug Melvin. And we showed that off the top today. It's spectacular. I didn't realize it was a pencil drawing by a 19-year-old. Lucy Thrift, she did an amazing job on that.
CKSS, by the way.
That's
Doug.
what I hear.
Yeah.
Sadler Goodwin gets a hold of one to left field. Long run, he'll settle underneath of it. The wind will hold it up. Champ Garner settles underneath of it. Second out of the inning. We talked about this with Fergie, and Billy's been up here, and Ed has said it many times. And I played house league here back in the day. This place has come a long way.
Yeah.
From back in the day.
Yeah. It really has. It's a fun atmosphere to be around, and they've done a wonderful job. But like I said, I've played in some minor league towns over the years that don't have this kind of energy, excitement, and providing the fans the entertainment that they're getting here.
Spencer Morin's been dropping down some bunts here lately. They're playing him like that. It's going to chop it foul down the first base line.
Well, the Intercounty League is the oldest existing league in this part of the world, and we've only been here, this is our second year, but we've really been impressed with the level of play and the organizations, and everything has been tip-top so far.
Arias, who spent some time in the minors with the Cubs, outside. With this level, obviously, this is a big step, obviously, to get, a contract and play pro. Would scouts find this league? Is this?
I talked to Eddie and the guys today a little bit about that, or was it last night? I'm saying how teams have cut back on scouting so much.
Yeah, it was today.
That scouts are not at the ballpark. They're just doing video. They'll take a video here, and they'll have a young guy sit down and try to evaluate that off the video. And very disappointing, because I just think that scouts have to be at the park and get the feel for the game and the flow of the game and the energy of a player and the competitiveness of a player. And
do you remember the old-time scouts before the draft when they used to hide in ballparks, so nobody would see them looking at a prospect. They'd be all over the place. Fergie signed by Tony Lucadello, and I was involved with Tony Lucadello too. But he was one of those guys. He always wore sunglasses and always wanted to be not noticed.
Yeah, they used to. I remember scouts would be there, and then they'd see some pitcher pitch an inning, and 2 or 3 scouts would leave, and everybody said, "Why are they leaving? Are they leaving? They didn't like him, or did they see enough?" And you never knew. They kept everything to their breast. They wouldn't tell what they saw or how they felt. It was
absolutely true.
Today, there's too much talking going on. Everybody knows everybody, and that. But back then, no, they took a lot of pride in that, and they didn't want to tell them where are you going tomorrow to a game.
Yeah.
Oh, don't know yet. You know.
Can we keep you for another half inning, Doug?
Yeah, one more half inning.
Right, one more half inning. We got to wrap up our conversation with Doug Melvin. We're going to throw it down to Atlanta Wills, the MVP of fun for the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers.
Come on, guys, in 3, 2, 1. Hustle ball. Come on, guys. Pretty good. One more.
Whoa!
Human pitchers right here, I think. They're all in charge of calculations here.
Team red has 5. Team black 4. Team purple 2. Winning team.
Team red. Who's team red? That's how you go, my friend. Good job.
Come and pick up the ball, please.
Great.
Bring them in the bucket, please. Ball.
That's Atlanta Wills, my co-host on 94.3 CKSY and CK Mornings out there in the field. The MVP of fun. There you see Ed Meyers and Doug Melvin having a conversation. We'll let them finish that up before we bring them back in. Majors coming to the sticks with 3 hits under their belts. They've got an error, no runs scored. The Barnstormers get a run of the first, just the 1 run, 1 hit, and it's 1-0 after 2 complete innings. Third inning due up for Hooven, the catcher. Harrison will flip the lineup back over to Simmons at the top of the order. Muriel Carter Yokoyama has been strong here. We'll get one more half inning out of Doug. I know he's been, comes back home. He's going to talk to some people, and we're kind of hoarding his time here, but we do appreciate Doug joining us up here. Former Major League Baseball Executive of the Year, a Chatham native, CKSS. We're going to say grad. We're going to go with it because...
Okay, that's good. I'm happy.
And grew up on Coverdale.
Grew up on Coverdale.
Yeah.
Settling a lot of beefs here today. Maybe, Ed, you can tell me. I understand that you still have the points record for, is it 55 points in the game for the Golden Hawks?
Was it 55? It was a junior. Was it a junior game? Senior.
I think it was a junior game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Still holds that record, Ed? Do you know that?
I thought Ron Blomers broke that.
I don't know that he had. I went there to teach shortly after Blomers graduated, and I'm not sure. But I know that was pre-3-point line as well. Yeah, I remember that.
Really?
Yeah.
So
he was a gunner.
That's taking a lot of shots, though.
I worked with Ron Blomers for a couple years, and he never mentioned it. So, and he would have. He would have if he did. So.
Yeah, he was a talented player. Like I said, there was a lot of Larry Leahy had a lot of talented players over at McGregor.
Very competitive basketball at that time. Used to be the
CCI. Remember Dwayne Newby? And who was the other big guy? There was
Trevor Briggs.
Trevor Briggs, boy.
Yeah, I coached them at CCI before I went over to CK.
And Tim Keeler.
Keeler, point guard.
Yeah, they were good players. But
1 and 2. Third baseman Harrison is the 9th hitter in the order, and then we'll get back to the top of the lineup with Toby Simmons, who's the center fielder tonight, who got on it. It's made a nice catch already.
Yeah, there we go there. That's 55. That was a junior.
Look at that, eh?
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Black and white. Jeez, black and white. That's old pictures when they're black and white.
Mm-hmm. No, I remember. What year was that, Doug? Would that have been?
Yeah, that would be
late 60s, early 70s?
Late 60s. Well, it's like 72 was sort of the year I graduated. 70. We'd be like 68.
Okay.
Like that.
You had that real strong football team in 69, 70, somewhere in there.
Yeah, we had a good Dave Stanika, who I saw here. Bobby Lee was a great running back at that time.
Remember Mark Race and
Oh yeah, Mark. I had great linemen.
Sneed.
Yeah.
We had a younger team at that time at CCI who ended up at the year after you guys graduated. They had their turn to win.
A lot of talk about these schools. You guys have yet to mention UCC the Pines. I'm just going to point that out. I feel
I keep showing it.
Yeah.
Every once in a while we talk about Blue Jays and the Pines.
I gotta give me a little nibble here, guys. 2-2 with one out in the inning. You're in the Chatham-Kent Sports Hall of Fame. You're in the Canadian Sports Hall of Fame, the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame. You're in the Brantford Hall of Fame.
Connecticut, Brantford, Connecticut.
Brantford, Connecticut.
Yeah.
Okay. I saw that come up. Inside pitch, 3-2.
So I was wondering if there's another town in Canada that has two Canadian Hall of Famers in baseball. I'm sure there's some in the big cities maybe, but in a smaller community.
They always say Chatham-Kent's a hockey town, but, man, baseball is alive and well here.
A lot of baseball played here.
Sadler, good one. Smooth play over to first.
The Canadian players like Larry Walker, Terry Poole, Reggie Cleveland, those were guys back then. And I don't think any of them came from the same town.
Right.
No.
Yeah, the point you're making is two guys from the same city.
Yeah, same city, yeah.
And
one was a player. And I think the other thing that I'm proud of on this, the display with Fergie and Billy and myself, is that there's two of them that are players and one that played but made it as an executive. So it gives young talent, like kids, hope that, if I don't make it as a player, maybe I can make it doing something else. You know what? I wanted to be Ernie Harwell is when I grew up.
Really? Ernie.
I wanted to be Ernie Harwell. And when my dad met Ernie Harwell, he almost cried.
Really?
Yeah, because I used to listen to Ernie down in the basement with the radio. And I used to love it when he had said there's a foul ball and a fan from Hamtramck, Michigan caught that.
Yep.
And I used to say, how the heck does he know that guy's from Hamtramck, Michigan?
What a legend.
Yeah, good hit.
Simmons going to get on for the second time, strokes it up the middle. I wonder if he'll have second thoughts about attempting a steal this time. Thrown out back in the first inning. 2 outs and he's on. And Fajardo, the former Jays prospect, is the shortstop, and he'll bat in the 2-hole here tonight with 2 outs.
We're mentioning Saturday night's game, catcher Fukuda.
Right.
Threw out 3 runners trying to steal second base, and 1 tonight. He's got quick feet and a great arm. We were talking about that earlier today.
But I like he doesn't. So these catchers today get down on one knee. It doesn't look. The only few times let me see, I don't think he does, and I think you got to be able to. There, you drop down a little bit there, but these guys that are on one knee and man on third base, and they can't move. If you have a command pitcher, a guy that can really paint, that might be a little different. Oral Hershiser or somebody, but when you got somebody that's got a throwing 98 and then a breaking ball that can't control.
It's going to get on.
The catcher too.
Fajardo.
Well, yeah, you get locked in.
Yeah.
You can't move.
Yeah, that's what happens. But they do it because they think they get the low strike.
Right. And the quick hands, pulling the ball back in the strike zone, man.
Framing.
Remember Tony Pena was always the guy.
Yeah, he was down. He had that big spread out, but it's hard to do that if you don't have a pitcher that can command the ball.
Lots going on here. Fajardo was hit by a pitch. It went off of him, then went off of Kuda, so he's kind of stung here too.
Yeah, they both got it.
Dr. Goodrow to take a look at him. He's all right. Zadunik now the batter. He's got some pop, left-handed with this short porch in right field. You talked to the team today, Doug?
Yeah, I did.
What did you have to tell them?
I just told them that, if they got a passion for the game, to keep playing it as long as you can. And I said the other thing is, take advantage of your coaches. These guys are coaching, and they have other jobs at times, but they're dedicated to the game and their experience.
Simmons going, and he's getting out of this one. He had a good lead off a second. He'll get a stolen base here.
And the experience that your coaches have to offer is so valuable to them, and that. So, just told them that I played on this field too, and I had no idea where my career was going to take me. And the other thing, if you're going to get in baseball, I always told this to the major league teams, you're going to get put on waivers, released, you're traded, fired, all those things are going to happen. But the good ones always bounce back and don't give up. And I got released twice. I got fired as the general manager. You get put on waivers, you get traded, there's all those things happen, and you got to be real strong personality to be able to handle that and say, I'm going to go prove them wrong. And in today's world, there's more roster changes than ever today.
Fajardo will steal second. Fukuda doesn't throw through. Thought maybe the steal of home was on. Check swing. Going to check at second. No. 2-1 to the third hitter.
It's that three-man umpiring. It's tough to appeal a strike to the umpire standing behind the pitcher. That was interesting too, Doug, that you played with Gil Rondon 1 year.
Yeah, we did.
That's an interesting connection.
Yeah.
Zadunik launches one to right, put it on the board, a 3-run home run. And the Majors jump up 3-1. Couple runners on, and Zadunik with that pop of the bat will find that short porch.
Ball looked like it was up and in a little bit.
Yeah. Right up in the...
3-run home run, and the Barnstormers are behind now in a team they have never beat. This is the 7th game they've played in their history. They're 0-6. Lots of time, though, top of 3. Chris McLeod, Ed Meyers, and Doug Melvin, our special guest here. Delio, the catcher, takes one high. 1-0. He's designated hitter tonight. Well, Doug's getting... This is what happens as a senior advisor. They got to... Want to know about the kid who just hit the home run.
That's my son calling from the Dominican Republic. He's
nice.
Scouting down there.
Oh, nice. And so he's in baseball now, too?
Yeah, he's been 15 years of scouting.
Oh, good.
And he worked with me for years, and then when I transitioned out, I told him, I said, it's going to be different, and the Yankees had called and asked permission, and he decided to go with them, which was the right move.
Oh, nice. Here, Connor Yokoyama, Dolio now. Slings one down the left field line. That one's going to get out foul.
That one would have been in the schoolyard. The former Tanzer Public School used to sit in left field.
1-2 count here.
I think that's still Tanzer Court. I think that's the name of the street.
Yeah. I did not realize there was a Tanzer school back there.
Yeah, Dr. Tanzer was the director of education in Chatham in the 50s, and they built a school and named it after him.
See, I've said it a number of times. Not only do you get a baseball game, but you get some knowledge out of these as well. Strikeout to end the inning. Strikeout brought to you by Scott Curry, TD Wealth Financial Planner. Whether you are planning for retirement or starting a new business, Scott is here to help you guide every step of the way. Doug, we're going to let you go. We appreciate your time.
Thank you. I enjoyed the whole experience, the evening, and seeing you guys. Eddie, good to see you.
Good seeing you, Doug.
Yeah. Congratulations, Doug. Way to go.
Thank you very much.
Doug Melvin, our guest here in this small first few innings of the Barnstormers game. They're trailing 3-1. More Barnstormers TV presented by Kent Essex Mutual Insurance, Ontario's trusted insurance provider, coming up.
Looking for a fun, active way to keep your kids moving? At Great Lakes Gymnastics, our recreational classes are all about building strength, coordination, and confidence, all while having a blast. And when it's time to celebrate, we throw birthday parties kids will never forget, packed with games, gymnastics, and tons of smiles. In our safe, state-of-the-art facility, every child gets the chance to shine. Join the fun at Great Lakes Gymnastics, where every day feels like a celebration.
Attention business owners and marketers. Imagine your brand in front of a live, engaged audience, right here, right now. This space is the perfect opportunity to showcase your product, service, or message to viewers in real time. Whether you're looking to boost sales, build awareness, or grow your audience, we've got you covered. Don't wait. Secure your spot today.
Hardline drive up the middle. Whoa! Lindor out of nowhere. How did he do that?
That Lindor can play. I don't know about that hair. And don't get me started on those gloves.
Oh know. I kind of like it.
It's time for a revolution. The Ref 1X by Rollins.
Barnstormers baseball, the ninth hitter, Trent Sillett, is striding to the plate. Our statistician, Dan Dominguez, telling us 5 putouts already for Trent Sillett before his first at-bat, which is quite outstanding. He's made some real nice plays in the field already here tonight. Great talking to Doug Melvin tonight. We could talk to him the whole game. Obviously an eye for some talent. Many years as a general manager at the Major League Baseball level and a Chatham-Kent native. Popped out to right field, drifting back. That one is moving. The wind took that. Trent Sillett's on his horse. And he will stop at second. He'll have a look, but he'll hold on. That ball just kept going and going and going. And
that
Rich
wall
didn't take it off the wall.
And the wall cuts away. I think that he didn't anticipate that acute angle out there as he was going back, where it sort of got hung up on the fence.
Now you're going to throw some trigonometry.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay. That's
two-syllable word.
Yeah, slow it down, Ed. Slow it down. That looked like a pop out to right field, and the wind blowing in, that played all kinds of havoc there. Barnstormers will take it, though. They're trailing 3-1. Runner on second. And the leadoff hitter Morrison swinging away. Struck out looking in the bottom of the first.
If you walk out from the right field pole toward the end of the field house, it bumps out in a hurry. Mm-hmm. It's really deceiving.
Majors took some infield, and they were doing some fungos in the outfield. Not all teams do that here. Morrison squares to Bunny. He's going to offer at it. Going to throw through. Sillett dives back. Umpire lost his footing.
I thought he was sliding, too.
That's the second time we saw the ball boy just fell down
here
as well, yeah. So Morrison with a strike on him now 0-2 on the bunt attempt. And
he could have put it down third base. I think it would have been a good play. The third baseman was at third base. Nobody else there.
Sillett gets his lead. Morrison, the second baseman tonight, leadoff batter. Inside, ball one. Morrison coming into the game, a .422 hitter, has dropped slightly, has struck out in the first, but adjusted quickly to the IBL. And you see Fajardo, the shortstop, kind of tiptoeing in behind Sillett, keeping him close. Arias looks back. Chop it down the first base line. That'll stay fair. No, it won't. Just goes foul. At the very last possible opportunity, Stephen Gomes quickly out from behind the plate. Morrison will have new life here. Kuser and Fukuda, the next two, waiting on deck and in the hole.
Another tough call for the home plate umpire with a three-man crew, because he has to call before the base and after for a foul ball.
Jeff Stoller, the first base umpire, has gone to second. Katrina Kadot stays at third. You'll see it quite often. It's quite the roulette wheel as they roll around the infield and cover each other up. Morrison just fouling one off, staying alive. Doug Melvin, one of 4 Canadians to be the general managers in Major League Baseball to hold that position. One and two to Morrison. A shout out again to Lucy Thrift, the artist who did the pencil drawing of Doug, Fergie, and Billy that's on the outside of the stadium here. Morrison, a chopper down to third again, a stay alive swing. Looks like the flag's starting to blow out towards right field slightly here.
Feels like it's shifted.
Mm-hmm. Comes White, great night here at the ballpark, and Morrison again, a good bat to foul that out of play.
He's spoiling the pitch until he can get one he feels comfortable with.
Sillett led the inning off with a double. Ninth hitter and flipped the order over to the top here. Arias, a long look in. And then an off-speed pitch, and Verhoeven will hold on. And another strikeout, the second of the night for Morrison. Lee Cusera, the second batter. Got on at an error, chopped it down to third base. He came around to score the lone run for the Barnstormers. Arias, a long look. Another off-speed pitch.
So the old Uncle Charlie curveball is going down.
And another one out in front of that, and he's ahead in the count quickly, 0-2.
Think he'll throw 3 in a row? I bet he does. I bet he throws it outside the strike zone.
Well, the last one to Morrison, and the first 2 here to Kuchera. Gets one he likes. One out in the inning, still leading off a second.
There it was. Tried to go get him go fishing.
1-2 now for Kuda. He's got the RBI. He is on deck. Cleanup hitter Yoshinoda waits in the hole, hoping to get a chance here. Barnstormers trailing 3-1. They were ahead 1-0 with a run on the bottom of the first. And then a 3-run home run by Zadunik. And the top of the third, and that's where we're at right now. He's taking his time out there on the mound. Verhoeven off his foot, and that's going to advance Sillett. You know what? Something that Doug had just talked about was that catchers, Verhoeven got way down in the crouch there, really didn't have much ability to move. That went off his foot.
2 schools of thought on that for sure.
The runner moves down to third, 2-2. Infield will come in here early in the game. Trying to cut down a run at the plate. And that one a hook, and he managed to spoil it.
All he needs to do is make a little contact and just loop it over down to the middle of the field, and we got to run.
Touch some green here.
Sacrifice fly, there's a lot of possibilities.
Arias will kick and deal, 2-2. And that one will bounce.
Good block.
And Sillett stays close to the bag. So the count will go full now.
Doug was telling me about catcher's equipment and different catchers. He played with a catcher whenever he had 2 strikes on him, on a batter, and a man on third. He'd loosen his chest protector so the ball wouldn't hit his chest and bounce.
Oh.
It would catch the
Kinda
ball
dead
and drop
the ball,
it.
yeah.
Drop it in front of him.
That's interesting. Payoff pitch to the second batter in the order, Kuchera. Outside corner's going to get him looking. Crossed him up. Back-to-back strikeouts. 2 outs in the inning now. Mitsuki Fukuda. He's got an RBI already tonight. Infielders will slide back to regular depth. Fukuda will try to cash for 2 outs. .372 average coming in as 8th overall in the IBL. 1 home run, hit it here in opening nights. He's got 9 RBIs now in the season. And 1 waiting at third. And that one bounces just in front of the plate.
Kuda got his summer haircut at the end of last week. He got his hair cropped. He looks like a whole different guy.
Really? I'm waiting for mine. Arias with the curve will drop it in 1-1. It's been good for him this inning. He's found it. Back-to-back strikeouts here after the leadoff double. And Fukuda gets enough of it to drop it in Give him 10 ribbies on the season, and a big one there to Ivan Kuchera for the second time tonight.
That's all you have to do, right? Easier said than done. Just the ball hit the bat and it's a single. Otis hit well too. He's hitting .310. He got 1 homer, 3 RBIs.
Shinoda with a runner on first now. And Verhoeven's been busy and behind the plate. Smother that. He's got a hole to shoot at now through the right side as Zadunek holds the runner on. Kuda staying put. And Yoda got around on one and fouled that right off the top of the fence down the right field line. 1-1 the count. Barnstormers get one back after giving up a 3-run home run in the top of the inning. Fukuda's got both RBIs tonight. Fukuda fakes the jump and will hustle back. Off speed outside is ball 2. Quick throw to first, and Zadunek's got to get up quickly. That almost got down the line.
Got quite a lead there. He's off by quite a bit, off the base by quite a bit, but he seems confident with it.
Took a couple hard steps last time. Odo waves that bat. Outside fastball, 2-2. We saw a barn burner here last year on a Tuesday night. We got out of here about, what was it, midnight?
I think you went directly to work, if I recall.
think I did. It was a late night.
No use going to sleep. Yeah, it was 18-16, I think, or something close to that, yeah.
I said 2-2. It's now 3-2. Correct myself there. And then remember we had the rainouts, and they had to do the makeup.
Yeah,
that
that
was.
was.
Picked the game up in the, I think, 8th inning or so.
Yeah, it was a difficult game to pick up at that point in time.
Picked it up and then played their next game right after.
Yep.
Big lead for Kuda. He's going to go 3-2 the count. He'll walk into second. Shinoda with a walk. Robert Mackey, who hit a bomb straightaway center, drove Toby Simmons all the way to the fence.
Well, Mackey's really been hitting, putting the bat in the ball. He had the pivotal home run on Saturday night, 2-run homer, and the 3-2 win with Hamilton.
Yeah, Mackey had a good stroke on that. The average not there, but the power numbers have been good for Robert Mackey. Played a season with the majors before joining the Barnstormers last year in year number 1. Runner on second now and first with Robert Mackey, who crowds that plate against Arias. Outside corner, gets him strike 1.
Mackey has been very versatile. He's played third, short, second, pitched a bit last year. He seems to have settled at third base for the time being.
It's fouled straight back. You saw our fire department that was in attendance. Some of the members here, and obviously called the duty. They had to hustle out of here and head down Queen Street. Hope everyone's all right. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Wherever you are tuning in on the YouTube stream, let us know in the chat where you're watching from. I know some of our local establishments, Sons of Kent, Red Barn Brewing, Mike's Place, Dog Days are all tuning in. Hope I didn't miss anybody there. Mackey behind in the count, 0-2 here with a runner in scoring position. Tsuki Fukuda has got 2 RBIs himself tonight. Arias really slows the game down. Now you can hear the Barnstormer fans. Now he's going to step off again. Second disengagement. It's really deliberate. Like he
is.
No pitch clock here, obviously, in the IBL, and you can really see he takes advantage of it and tries to control the game out there. Fukuda takes a couple of steps. Arias swing and a miss. He'll get 3 strikeouts in the inning. Barnstormers will score 1. They close the gap slightly. 3-2 is the score. More Barnstormers TV coming up, brought to you by Kent Essex Mutual Insurance, Ontario's trusted insurance provider.
Still selling critical illness insurance. Still selling retirement savings plans. Still selling group benefit plans. Still selling life insurance. Still selling disability insurance.
Are you selling insurance?
Not today. Play ball.
It's us again. Enyo Pest Advisors, 226-627-4944. Enyo, bigger than bugs.
My name is Spencer Marcus, outfielder for the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers from Chatham, Ontario. The community support has been amazing for baseball. Everybody coming together. You never really thought of this town as a baseball town, more of a hockey town. I remember when I found out that Kent Essex Mutual Insurance wanted to do an interview about a hometown hero. I never thought somebody would look at just a baseball player like that. It takes a lot of support to make this team a success, and the Barnstormers wouldn't be where they are today without help from sponsors like Kent Essex Mutual Insurance.
This happened pregame tonight. That's the pencil drawing by 19-year-old Lucy Thrift. Next to it, Billy Atkinson. She did that one too, and if you were at the ballpark, you can see there's a Fergie Jenkins one just to the left of that. All done by Lucy. So well done. We had a chance to talk to Doug here for the first few innings at the game tonight. Good to catch up with him. He's heading right back to the Sarasota, Florida area. Special advisor now, senior advisor for the Milwaukee Brewers. Pretty good gig, he says.
He knows the game, and he loves to talk the game.
And Richardson now is the batter, the right fielder. He got fooled on a Trent Zillett pop-up to start the third inning on a ball that just kept drifting on him, and we were just about to say that the flags had dropped. Now they're kicked back up again here as we're seeing a little bit of a swirling breeze and a nice, comfortable night at the ballpark tonight. The Majors have a 3-2 lead through 3 innings. And Richardson will poke one in front of Spencer Morin. The high bounce. That's going to bounce right to the wall. He'll hustle. No, he'll stop. Knows that arm. And, man, he comes up firing. What a bounce that was.
Straight up.
He'll end up with a single and stay at first. 6 hits now for the Majors with 3 runs. Josh Niles, the third baseman, is up. Spencer's played some good right field. There's not much you can do on that one.
No, he's been really steady over the 2 years in right field. He Spencer Marcus started in right field last year. Lee Casera in center, and gradually Spencer Moran worked his way into the lineup. Has done a good job.
Fukuda stops that on a bounce. A shout out to those that are watching. I know, Neil, you're always watching from the home office tonight. Brody says watching from the other side of town. Let's go Barnstormers. Jason is listening / watching from Grimsby tonight. Zippy says let's go Majors. Keith tuning in from Las Vegas, Nevada. As the sportsbook over-under at 13.5 runs. Okay, yeah, thanks, Keith. I'll put my money on that. The way it's been going, yeah. Former Major. Great game watching from Bell River, says Brian. Yeah, I think keeping the chat buzzing tonight. You can always reach us that way. Cool Dupuy pushing the buttons, doing a great job bringing the game for you here again tonight. inside and get the strike, 2-2. Josh Niles has an error in the field. Flew out to the left fielder in the second inning. Richardson gets his lead off of first. A couple of hops. It's 3-1 now. Hold on, I think they're checking the count. I think it's 3-2. It's 3-2, okay. I think Mitsuki Fukuda convinced the umpire that no, it was 3-2. We all kind of looked at each other up here. We thought the count was full. No outs in the inning. Top of 4. Yokoyama, a long look over at first base. Mackey from the back foot. Quick turn. They'll turn it.
Good play.
The old 5-4-3 double play, and he erases the leadoff single.
Good play. I don't have any.
There you go. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Somebody pushed a button over there. I'm going to blame.
I was going to say that Mackey made a really good play in that. Fielded the ball cleanly, made a great strong throw to second base. Really around the horn, good double play.
Champ Garner ended the second inning with a flyout. 2 outs now, and he'll pop one straight away to center. Cusero's going to settle underneath this one. A little swirling wind. He'll track back, and he's there. A single gets on, a double play, and a flyout. They're out of the inning. Still 3-2 Barnstormers. More Barnstormer TV coming up against the London Majors tonight.
Want to get your brand in front of a live audience? This spot could be yours. Reach engaged viewers in real time and make an impact. Don't miss your chance. Contact us today to get your ad here.
The Chatham Barnstormers have multiple summer camp opportunities available. Chatham's week-long summer camp from July 7th to 11th. Leamington's week-long summer camp from July 14th to the 18th. Then we head back to Chatham from July 21st to 25th. Wallaceburg's summer camp between July 28th and August 1st. And finally, Dresden's summer camp between August 4th and the 8th. Contact us today at the email on screen.
Inyo Pest Advisors, serving all of southwestern Ontario, where you live and where you work. Inyo, bigger than bugs.
Get ready, Hamilton. It's the 2025 IBL Home Run Derby and All-Star Game. Hosted by the Hamilton Cardinals at beautiful Bernie Arbor Stadium. Watch the league's top sluggers crush moonshots in the Derby. Then see the best of the best go head-to-head under the lights in the All-Star Game. Grab your tickets now at HamiltonCardinals.com because this summer, the stars shine brightest in Hamilton.
Hey, Barnstormers TV with the Barnstormers trailing 3-2 the London Majors. Jose Arias with the start here tonight. Next pitch will be his 63rd of the game. Into the bottom of the 4th inning here. Paul Ante is watching here tonight. Watching some hockey and also some Barnstormers tonight. Jays are playing tonight too. So, hey, Paul, thanks for tuning in. The London area. We had him on last year. Braxton Haggith. Swing from the left side. Braxton still trying to find his swing here in the IBL season.
Yeah, he was really hit well last year. He was missed when he had to go back to school in mid-August. He attends Minnesota State.
Arias will start him off with a strike. So he said his 63rd pitch of the night. Kicks and deals to the plate outside. Haggett leads off the inning, the left fielder. Bounce to the second baseman his first time up in the second. Get him looking for strike 2. You see that wind kicking up again. You can hear it through the microphones. It was a hot one today. We were looking at about 37 with the Humidex and figured we'd have an uncomfortable night at the ballpark. And actually turned out to be quite comfortable here.
Yeah, it's a nice breeze coming through the booth.
Can't say the same about this weekend, though. We're going to have they're going to be peaked this weekend in a 3-gamer over 3 days with the Barrie Bay Cats.
We've got our drive chip putt event on Saturday,
right,
too.
Yes.
Out at Maple City.
It's Chatham Sports Hall of Fame. Agath spoils that one inside. Got a lot of kids signed up?
We're at 71. 72 maybe as of this morning. And 80 is capacity. John Dangle can't handle any more than that with the facilities. And we look forward to a good day.
Agath the batter, 2-2 the count. Arias to the plate, and he'll stroke one to second base once again. Toss the bat aside, and he goes down 4-3. Still trying to find his stroke.
Yeah, he looks uncomfortable up there. He's like he's swinging. His swings vary from pitch to pitch.
He was a big part. You mentioned that last season. Seth Strong, pitcher, started to pitch around him. And we made a point quite a few times last year that somebody's going to have to pick up the pace.
Yeah,
and Agath was the answer.
Oh, yeah.
He's got it in him.
He was hitting behind Strong last year and really scooped up a lot of extra base hits and was hitting the ball very well.
Sadler Goodwin flew out to left field. A long look in. Has been the MO for Arias here tonight, and that one fouled straight back. Some movement in the Barnstormers bullpen. Cat Morin is warming up. Of course, could just be throwing to get some work in, but
seems like another area code out where the bullpen is.
Yeah. That one inside. Goodwin backs up 1-1 off the plate. Harris has really slowed his game down here.
Really has.
It's up to about 65, 66 pitches now. Goodwin will file another one back, but
throws well. He's got a great variety of pitches, and he's been around the plate all night. And throws hard. Got the great build for a pitcher.
Third season with London. He was a Chicago Cub free agent back in 2010. Was traded to Miami for Jacob Turner. You remember that name? He was a former Tiger, wasn't he? Jacob Turner?
Jacob Turner, I think he was. Yep.
6 seasons as a starter and reliever. 241 innings pitched, and sadly Goodwin strokes one fouled on the left side. Led the IBL with strikeouts, 132 in 2022. He's played with Venezuela in the Nicaraguan Winter League. Arm will travel.
We got a lot of guys like that. They play pretty much all year.
Mm-hmm.
Wherever there's baseball, they follow.
Well, last year's first baseman for the majors, Caden Cardoso, went down south and played through the winter and then came back and earned himself a spot up at Ottawa. Sadler Goodwin off the end of the bat. It's going to go a long way. That's going to go out! Goodwin with a pop to the right side. And that'll even the score. A home run in the bottom of the fourth. We're tied at 3-3. That's some barn ball for you.
Secret. You see, no effortless swing. He just got the barrel of the bat ahead of him, and that was it.
I said it was off the end of the bat. I didn't think he got much of it.
I think he got the meat of the, yeah, it was a really easy swing, but so just to let the bat do the work, not you.
Toby Simmons, the center fielder, just kept going, and it was gone. Barnstormers will take it. It's 3-3 now in the bottom of the fourth. One out. Spencer Marin is the batter. Spencer's been hunting for some base hits here recently. Just dropped it down the third base line. Looks like Niles is aware of that, and he's creeping in on the grass. Spencer chokes up on that bat with 2 strikes. Came into the game hitting .333. And he'll chop one of the shortstop. Fajardo has to take that in a couple bounces, and he'll get him. At first, Zadunik stayed with it, took it on a bounce, and he'll record the out.
That one looked like it might handcuff him. He took that little short hop after a couple of big bounces. It just sort of skipped on him. Made a good play.
Trent Sill at the ninth batter has a double. Came around to score in the third on the Fukuda single.
Trent is from the London area and played most of his minor ball with the London Badger system. I would imagine Mike Lumley was his coach somewhere along the way. I know Mike Lumley from baseball days.
Daniel Smith says, can't wait to see my nephew Toby hit 3 home runs and allow 3 runs. Well, we got people watching all over the place here. Melinda says, good job, Sadler. Hey, thanks for tuning in on Barnstormer TV tonight. Joining in the chat, you're more than welcome to do that. You got any questions? We'll see if we can keep an eye on those and get to those. 3 runs, 6 hits, and an error for the Majors. 3 runs, 4 hits, no errors for the Barnstormers. And Trent Sillett will foul one back.
Too many names.
Right? Too many names to remember. London Majors lead the IBL in errors. 36 now on the season. A lot of young new faces around this ball club. Team that won the Dominico Cup in 2022. Sillett will spoil another one. I'll say this, Barnstormers have made it work tonight. Fouling off some pitches. And
good ball game. Good ball game.
Sill will dig back in. A home run in the inning from Sadler Goodwin is tied it at 3. Arias back to the plate. Curve ball rolls over top of it. Fajardo gets behind it. Across the diamond, another 6-3 put out. Barnstormers are out 1 hit, but it's a big one. It's the Goodwin home run. We're tied at 3. Barnstormers TV is brought to you by Kent Essex Mutual Insurance, Ontario's trusted insurance provider.
Right now, so you guys each have a bat. You gotta spin with the bat on your head for a couple of seconds. And when I say go, you're gonna race, and whoever gets to the finish line first is the winner. All right. So when I say go, you guys are gonna start spinning. 3, 2, 1, spin. Let's hear 'em out, guys. All right. Couple more seconds. We gotta get you nice and busy here. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Race to those bylaws. We got a winner! What's your name, bud? Thank you, Oliver. I'm going to take together TV for
There's some dizzy participants out there on the field here at Fergie Jenkins Field. Atlanta does a good job of getting those kids jacked up. Barnstormers tied at 3 apiece. In the bottom of the 4th, they've scored in every inning but the 2nd. Just the one big bomb for the London Majors came off the bat of Zadunik, the first baseman. It'll be the bottom 2, Verhoeven and Harrison. And then Toby Simmons will get his third at bat, back to the top of the order this inning. Yuri O'Connor Yokoyama stays in the game. He's up to 51 pitches, 6 hits, 3 runs, all earned. We did have Cap Marin warming in the bullpen. Not sure if he's still out there or not. I don't see that, Ed.
Doesn't seem to be anybody throwing right now.
He might just be ready on standby or just warming. I'm getting his throws in for the week. Each team with a home run now. The left-handed batter, Verhoeven. The catcher, who's usually the backup. Dolio, designated hitter tonight. Verhoeven from St. Thomas, former Fanshawe Falcon. He's a tournament all-star in the OCAA in 2022.
He could have been Harry Muir's battery mate this year if he hadn't graduated.
Could have very well been. Yeah, Harry pitched there, eh?
Yep.
Verhoeven rolls over one to second base, and Morrison lets it play him, and that's going to be an error on the second baseman, and the leadoff runner will get on. You saw when it took that one hop, and he just kind of backed up and let it play him.
Done. Yep.
Yeah, sure. He'd love to have that one back. So runner on to start off the inning. Adrian Harrison now, the second baseman. Batting .241 coming into the game. Has a home run. Hits in the ninth spot here in the order. He's going to bunt. Fukuda gets to it first. We'll record the out over at the first base bag.
Another real athletic play by Makuda. Jumped out from behind the plate. Was able to field that ball flawlessly and make the good throw.
Connor Yokoyama quickly got out of the way, and they'll have a runner in scoring position for the top of the order now. Simmons got on, stole a base, and came around to score on the home run. Player they describe as a Devon White type player for those of the only 90 Blue Jays. Will make you say, Roop said he'll make you say wow offensively and defensively in a game, and he gets to balls you didn't think he could get to. And well, we saw it back in the first when he turned and tracked the ball down to the fence off Robert Mackey. Thrown out trying to steal. He's also got a stolen base tonight. It's 1 for 2. Right to Sadler. Good one. Hard hit. Stays with it. Comes up with it. Sillett. Stretch to get him at first.
Big out.
That was a hard hit. Sadler Goodwin stayed down, took it off the chest, kept it in front of him, and Sillett gave him enough of a stretch to get the out at first. Fajardo now, the shortstop. Battling some injuries. He's another player that's looking to advance his baseball career. Fajardo, the shortstop. And he'll swing at the first pitch and foul that down the right side. Yokoyama getting some quick work done here. Outside, gets ahead, 0-2. We're seeing two different styles where Arias has been slow and deliberate. Yuri wants to keep the pace
give
going.
You the ball.
Yeah.
He's throwing the ball back is almost as quick as he's getting it.
Kicks and deals, looking to get him chase outside. The second batter in the Majors lineup, Zadunek, who hit a bomb, is waiting on deck. Sure, the Barnstormers would love to see him lead off the next inning. I'll attack Fajardo here. Down to first, Sillett, who's been busy tonight, unassisted. Error gets on, but that's where he stays. And the Barnstormers, the Majors, are tied at 3. Barnstormers TV is presented by Kent Essex Mutual Insurance, Ontario's trusted insurance provider.
Hey Barnstormer fans, want to win a $50 gas card just for cheering on your favorite team? Grab your phone right now and snap a selfie of you and your family and friends watching Barnstormers TV. Follow and tag at CK Barnstormers and Kent Essex Mutual Insurance at KE Mutual on Instagram. You need both tags and follows to qualify for the selfie contest. At CK Barnstormers and at KE Mutual. Share your selfie before the end of the game for a chance to win a $50 gas card.
Anything you want.
Everybody say.
At Great Lakes Gymnastics, it all starts with our state-of-the-art 12,000 square foot facility built to inspire movement, confidence, and growth. From preschool to recreational classes, our programs are safe, structured, and designed to help every child thrive. For athletes with big goals, our competitive team trains year-round with experienced coaches and competes across Ontario. Whether you're just getting started or aiming for the podium, Great Lakes Gymnastics is where greatness begins.
Barnstormers TV is back, bottom of 5 now. Barnstormers have had the lead, up 1-0. Meyers hit a 3-run home run, and Barnstormers have added a couple more to get us to where we're at right now. A little dance party going on at Fergie Field here. As DJ Jeff Hoffman has got them doing the Macarena here. Well, some of them anyway. I'm not sure what that was. I swear I saw it somewhere. Somebody was doing the Macarena. Arias is still on the mound. 5 strikeouts for him, just the 1 walk. And the top of the order will start off Evan Morrison, who's struck out looking and swinging. He's 0 for 2 in the game so far.
Number 44, Evan Morrison.
Arias has been deliberate so far. Taking his time out there. Up over 60 pitches now, 60, 70 pitches. 71 pitches now. Bottom of 5, he's still in the game. 81. Clean that up. Barnstormers made him work tonight. A lot of foul balls. Morrison, the leadoff batter, comes in batting .422. He struck out twice. Kicks and deals to the plate. Morrison will. Fajardo, that one bounces nicely about thigh high, but Morrison hustles it out. He'll get him. And a 6-3 put out on the second baseman. Kucera got on in an error, struck out looking. He has come around to score. Scored the first run tonight for the Barnstormers. Sun's starting to go down, and that wind swirl looks like it's let up here, but it's been blowing in, blowing to right field at different times throughout the night. Arias gets the outside corner, and Kucera doesn't agree. He's in tonight because Spencer Marcus said a little too much to the umpire and suspended for a game. We heard from Spencer prior to the game. He said just the one game, I think. Arias to the plate. That's ball 1, 1-1. Have some viewers on the YouTube channel tonight from the Bahamas watching Toby Simmons. And that one, a off-speed pitch, and Kucera swings through it.
He's had trouble with that curveball.
Mm-hmm.
Not the pitcher.
No, it's been working for him tonight just fine. And Kucera just does what he can to stay alive on the outside. Fouls it off. Thanks, Elizabeth, for watching down to the Bahamas tonight. Well, you know what that means, Ed. We got a place to stay.
Good.
Right, Elizabeth? We tend to just invite ourselves and work out the details later. Outside, Verhoeven can't get over to block. It's 2-2. Suki Fukuda waits on deck, hold it in the hole. 3-3 the score. Bottom of 5 now. Barnstormers have scored in every inning but the second. Inside, Fukuda kicks his hips back, gets out of the way of that one. That was a purpose pitch. Kucera diving out for that last one and push him back out.
Freeze him.
See if we can get that outside corner back in his favor. Harris to the plate. And he'll get him looking again. And Kucera has a couple of words, but he keeps walking. Home plate umpire Stephen Gomes rings him up. That's 6 strikeouts now for Arias.
Threads a needle on that outside pitch, and I guess you have to guard the plate with the 2 strikes, and he's lost. He's 0 for 2 in the gamble.
Suki Fukuda got a couple of RBIs tonight. A single and a double for Fukuda. That'll improve that 372 average.
Yeah, it's early in the year, so get a couple of hits, it goes up in a hurry.
Arias to the plate. And Fukuda turns one around. That's got some legs, and it's foul.
Ooh. I thought that was enough on it to stay fair.
Yeah, just got out of play. He turned that around pretty quickly.
It's quick. Quick hands.
1-1 in the count now. 2 RBIs in the game. You see that replay. Just went up the old Sons of Kent side out there. Back in the box, Fukuda. Outside 2-1. London coming in a 4-game winning streak, sitting second overall in the Intercounty Baseball League.
Barnstormers had a good run going until they ran into Toronto on Sunday. They had 5-game winning streak.
Snapped, and they get set for a busy weekend. They'll play the Barrie Baycats Friday, Saturday, and Sunday here at Fergie Jenkins Field. Shinoda just tucks his chin in, and that one bounced by him on the on-deck circle.
Did a big loop right over his head.
2-2 the count, 2 outs to the third hole hitter, Fukuda. Outside, I'll put the count full. Six strikeouts for Arias through the 4 2/3. Full count pitch coming. Outside, he'll walk him. It's the second walk of the night. And they do get a runner on here with Shinoda, the cleanup batter. Got number 14, Colby Ring, starting to warm in the Majors
96.
bullpen. Doesn't look like he's throwing off the mound just yet. Just getting loose. The lefty is hustling to get himself ready, maybe for Braxton Hageth. Lefty due up after Robert Mackey, who waits on deck. Holding on the runner. Otis got a shot through that right side. And he's going to swing at the first pitch right to Harrison. Bobbles, cleans it up, gets it to first, easy out. And they're out of the inning. Barnstormers get a walk. No runs, they're tied at 3. It's Barnstormer TV, brought to you by Kent Essex Mutual Insurance, Ontario's trusted insurance provider.
My name is Spencer Marcus, outfielder for the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers from Chatham, Ontario. The community support has been amazing for baseball. Everybody coming together. You never really thought of this town as a baseball town, more of a hockey town. I remember when I found out that Kent Essex Mutual Insurance wanted to do an interview about a hometown hero. I never thought somebody would look at just a baseball player like that. It takes a lot of support to make this team a success, and the Barnstormers wouldn't be where they are today without help from sponsors like Kent Essex Mutual Insurance.
Still selling critical illness insurance. Still selling retirement savings plans. Still selling group benefit plans. Still selling life insurance. Still selling disability insurance.
Are you selling insurance?
Not today. Play ball.
Barnstormers TV and the Barnstormers in the Majors tonight. Yuri O'Connor Yokoyama back out for his 6th inning of work, tied at 3. Yuri's been moving quickly tonight. He's got a lot of first pitch outs. where Arias has been working deep into counts and getting some foul balls.
Arias maybe at the end of his evening. He's thrown 97 pitches. And with work in the bullpen, he may be done for the evening. Don't know.
Zadunik, the batter, he's got a 3-run home run to account for the RBIs tonight for the majors. Lefty versus lefty, and he turned him around last time up and hit a dinger up over the field house into the soccer fields out beyond the field house, which, well, hopefully you're working towards that being a accessible field out there, Ed.
Yep.
Soccer will find a home. We're not kicking soccer out, but they're going to find a new home, and that field will then become a accessible diamond.
Mm-hmm.
It's something new. The Chatham Minor Baseball Association and the Chatham Sports Hall of Fame and the municipality are working together on.
Yep.
Gets a strike, 3-1. Let's talk Chatham-Kent.ca. If you guys want to find out more, because I have seen some things online with people not knowing the whole story, but it's all right there on Let's Talk Chatham-Kent.ca. Outside, 3-2. But Doug Melvin, and I know this is kind of there's a lot to happen still, but the idea would be to name the field after him. Is that correct?
Yeah, you have to apply for that through the council.
So Dunick will pop one straight up. They'll converge, and left center, it'll be Hageth settling underneath of it eventually, and he'll record the outs.
Good guy to get out in the first batter of the sixth inning.
Yeah, a big hitter like that. The first baseman goes down. Now you get another one. Eduardo Diolio, the batter now here. Usually catcher gets the night off. Had a single back of the second inning, was stranded there. Strikeout in the third, and only strikeout of the night tonight for Yuri.
Just moving the ball in and out and up and throwing enough strikes to be effective. Yeah, no walks.
Another one high, falls
Don't want to put the curse on him. Usually that's what happens, right?
Well, he fell behind 3-0 to Zadunik and battled back to the full count, had him pop out. And now starts Dolio out with 2 balls.
He's been wild high this last couple of batters.
That's a sign of fatigue, right?
Legs
popped up on the infield. Goodwin underneath of it's got to come around for it as it swung around up there. And he'll pop out to the shortstop. There is some movement in the Barnstormers bullpen, and I believe it's a right-hander out there. Yeah,
definitely right-hander.
I wonder if that's Sam McKinley out there. I
can't see that far in the dark. It's like they are in the dark to us.
Yeah, we'll see.
Get number 14? Number 14.
That's Brock Whitson. Yeah. Maybe get some work in, or if he's warming up to get into this game, we'll see. Another batter started off with the ball here. It's Richardson, the right fielder, who hit a shot to right, bounced over the head of Spencer Morin, but he was quick on his horse to get that ball back in and held him to a single. One and one the counts. Okayama, that one's going to find the hole. Almost. Trent Sillick closed that gap pretty quickly, but Rexton will be on for this second hit of the night. A single to right. Trent has been busy down there, and he almost swallowed up another one. 9 putouts tonight for Trent Sillick. I believe 3 of them unassisted. So Gil Rondon out now. Josh Niles, the third baseman, a right-handed batter, is ready. And yes, indeed, the Barnstormers will make a change and a call to the bullpen. This call to the bullpen brought to you by Main Street Credit Union, where your financial future is always in good hands, just like this new arm coming into the game, banking that is invested in you. 5 2/3 innings tonight. for Yuri O'Connor Yokoyama. Three earned runs on 3 hits. It's 1 strikeout, no walks, and 1 hit batsman. So Brock Whitson will come to the game. He pitched 6 innings on Saturday. So in to get a couple of outs. 71 pitches, a pretty efficient night for Yuri.
That's what we say, no walks. And was around the plate the whole night. He mixed his pitches well, pitched well. Whitson is coming off a really good performance on Saturday night. Pitched. We had 3 pitchers who had great nights. Eric Pettipies came in for Brock, and Garrett Day came in for Eric. He got the save, and it was a nice performance by the 3 pitchers. So people are starting to fall into a role this time of the year.
2-1 on the season, a 4.71 ERA. This will be his 6th game. He has started 3 of them. He's pitched 21 innings, given up 24 hits, 11 of the runs earned. Is this right? 1 walk for Brock this season? 10 strikeouts?
I would.
Just 1 walk on this season for Brock.
That's great, because Brock had trouble finding the plate early in his career with the Barnstormers, and I've seen Gil Rondon working with him.
First pitch swinging, will dump it in front of their left fielder. And 2 runners on, Josh Niles swinging away. 82 pitches for Brock on Saturday. And his first one is a single to left. A little different mindset when you come in as a starter.
Sure is.
And then you come out of the bullpen.
Yeah, it's a whole different rhythm pattern to what's expected of you.
Pinch hitter comes into the game here now for the Majors. Dre Amaral will come in for Champ Garner. Two runners on, 2 outs. Brock Whitson, this will be his 2nd pitch. And he is going to throw it in behind him, and wild here, and the runners will advance. I'm not sure how that didn't hit him, Ed.
No, it went right the other side of him. It was beyond inside. Let's put it that way.
Well, we're talking. It's a different mindset. Now you come in here and got a couple runners on. He's right into the.
Got to let the ball fly. He got into the pattern last year where he was guiding the ball a bit, and he hasn't done that this year so far.
Trey Amaral into the game here. He's been playing a lot of infield, but has taken some balls in the outfield. We'll see if he takes Champ's position in left field defensively. Here he's looking to score a couple of runs. He'll fell that one into the Majors bullpen. Gil Rondon's got a lefty warming. It looks like Eric Pettipies is stirring out the bullpen. He's starting to get ready. Verhoeven, the lefty, is on deck. Whitson set. Behind on the count, 2-1. Finds the zone, gets it 2-2.
That's more like him. He let the ball fly that time. He just slung the ball, and that's what you have to do.
Well, the adrenaline pumping too. You come in out of the bullpen, couple runners on, and like we were saying there, an early different mindset coming into the game out of the pen. Outside, can't get him swinging. Amaral checks the swing, and they'll get a look at the umpire. That wasn't close, but they'll get the look anyway. Count goes full. Couple runners on. Runner at second will be moving here. Barnstormers and Majors tied at 3 in the bottom of the 6th. Top of the 6th, I'm sorry. Swing and a miss. Brock Whitson with the K. Strikeout brought to you by Scott Curry, TD Wealth Financial Planner. Whether you are planning for retirement or starting a new business, Scott is here to help you every step of the way. Barnstormers and Majors tied at 3.
Still selling critical illness insurance. Still selling retirement savings plans. Still selling group benefit plans. Still selling life insurance. Still selling disability insurance.
Are you selling insurance?
Not today. Play ball.
The second annual Barnstormers Golf Tournament takes place Tuesday, July 15th at Willow Ridge Golf and Country Club. Barnstormers own Garrett Day will also be in attendance. To register, contact us at the emails on screen.
Flip into the best summer.
2 earned runs? 3 runs, 2 earned. Barnstormer TV, we are back. Jose Arias is out of the game. He'll go 5 innings, 4 hits, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. Which numbers are reversed usually? Usually more walks than strikeouts. 3 runs, 2 of them are earned. Colby Ring is into the game, the Langley, BC native. 0-0 on the season, a .261 ERA. This is his 7th game. 10 1/3 innings pitched, 12 strikeouts, just the 5 walks for Colby Ring. Barnstormers will lead off with Robert Mackey, Braxton Haggith, and Sadler Goodwin. Goodwin with a home run tonight.
Yeah, Mackey has been making some good contact. He didn't look very good on the last plate appearance. Struck out, and but he's been making good contact. Has been playing well at third base, and he's made his presence known. And hopefully, we get something started here. We are involved in a barn burner at the Barnstormer game.
Bottom of 6 now, tied at 3. Barnstormers 0-6 versus the London Rangers. Group chanter dad saying, man, it's not really a rivalry yet. You'd like to make it one just with the proximity, and I'm sure it will become one at some point, but you just haven't had that playoff battle yet. You haven't had that series where you kind of get under each other's skin. He said, it's not there yet. It'll come.
It's a nice leisurely ride. We drove to the Sunday game a couple of weeks ago. We just
June 1st,
went down the old number 2 highway and then through Lambeth and downtown London and right to Labatt Park.
Great place to see a game for sure.
It is. Beautiful diamond. Lots of memories there.
Well, for years, lots of memories for a lot of different people too.
Yeah.
That's such a recognizable place. Mackey gonna put one to the right side. That's gonna get through. They'll start off with a base hit. Mackey with a single, his first of the night.
Okay, now we got Haggith up here who's having some batting slump problems. Do you bunt him? Do you hit and run him to try to get him swinging the bat? You got possibilities. You got the go-ahead run at first base. Lefty against lefty, I think I wouldn't be hesitant to bunt.
Well, let's see if Ian Meyers' call here is what Gil Rodin is thinking. Colby Ring, the pitcher now. The bottom of the 6th inning. Relieves Arias.
Nope.
There was a off-speed pitch and had Haggith back at his heels swinging from his shoe tips there. Well, Mackey wasn't moving on that, so that's a little inside.
Not a hit and run pitch. If they got behind, or the pitcher got behind, might see some action.
High.
But we got a left-handed pitcher, left-handed batter. It's not ideal.
Outside, 2-1. Mackey, the runner on first. The leadoff batter is on. Barnstormers bullpen has slowed while they're batting here. Whitson got out of the last inning, and Haggith now with a good eye, 3-1. Braxton Haggith outside. He's going to get the strike call out there. Haggith thought maybe he had moved on for a walk. So now the count goes full, Ed, with Braxton, who's had his struggles here as of late. We'll see if he can put something into play. A hole there on the right side. And he's going to get caught looking. Rung up by the plate umpire, Stephen Gomes.
See if our friend Sadler or Goodwin can get the runner moving.
7 strikeouts total for the majors tonight, 4 of them looking. Sadler hit a home run last time up, a solo blast, tied the score at 3. Another 2 RBIs from Mitsuki Fukuda. See if Robert Mackey's moving this time. No, he's not. And another off speed, and Goodwin swings through it. I tell you, Ed, this crowd can go quiet in a.
Yeah, they really can.
They kind of sense the importance of this inning, and
something may happen here soon. There's a toss to first. Could be a factor.
Not really trying to pick him up. They just want to let him know he's watching him. Colby Ring, the lefty. His first inning of work here. Kicks and deals into the dirt, and Verhoeven smothers that and keeps it right there. 1-1 to Goodwin. Came into the game with a .345 average. He's got a home run now. 3 home runs, 9 RBIs on the season. He's been dealing with some injuries here over the last 2 or 3 weeks.
If you haven't seen him play shortstop, you're in for a treat.
Mm-hmm.
He can really field his position.
Wagles that bat back and forth. Another one high. 2-1.
Another lefty on deck. Spencer Morin.
Morin and Sillett, the next 2 due up. Here's a look at Mackey getting his lead off of first. Zadunik holds him on. Inside, he's going to get the call, 2-2. Couple of strikes on those off-speed pitches for Colby Ring here.
Changing speeds well. Froze him at the bat with that pitch.
That one's going to bounce, get away, and Mackey maybe hesitated a minute too long.
Interesting to see what Gill will do here. Did you get the runner going at your go-ahead run? You make the call.
One out in the inning. It's the payoff pitch to Goodwin. Mackey's moving. That's high.
It's
going to be a walk. Move him along. So runners at first and second now. Left fielder is Ken Sugi. He was the one that came in to pinch hit and was the last out of the inning for the London Majors. Came in for Champ Gardner. He's now playing left field. We misidentify him, Ed. Don't like to do that, so Kenneth Sugi into the game here. Left-handed bat, lefty versus lefty, 1 out in the inning. Or in. And we got some heat.
Poured that one, but I really did. It's really varied at speeds.
Crowd anticipating something here as they go quiet once again. Morin, the batter. Mackey's at second. And sadly, Goodwin is over at first. That's 1-1. Spencer got off to a real hot start this season, playing full-time in right field. Just like a Colby Ring looks back at the runner to the plate. And Marin again. That was an off-speed pitch. Another tight one here. Barnstormers lost 8-7 in the 9th inning in London. You were at that game.
I was at the game, yeah. Dan and I made the trip to London. A beautiful afternoon for a baseball game.
Yeah, they got behind in that game and had to
pull it back and tied it, but
that one fouled straight back. Now Morin have to shorten that swing, and he will. He chokes up on that bat, steps out. Some more bat control, 1-2 here with 1 out in the inning.
11.
Looks like Nate Bennett is getting himself warm for the majors. Ring to the plate. Outside, and he throws that one into the dirt. Dancing off a second is Mackey trying to get the attention of the pitcher, Colby Ring. Goodwin has a look from first.
Still got the first baseman playing in really pretty close.
Yeah,
for
playing
this,
in front of the runner.
Situation, yeah.
Marin waves the bat, the left-handed batter. He'll foul that one back and spoil the 2-2 count.
I think he's probably well scouted. He's been laying the ball down and bunting, but with 2 strikes, I'm not sure what the odds would be right now with him trying to bunt. He's got the inside position to start a double play, at least because he's right-handed first baseman. It's a real tough play. First baseman's playing even with the bag or behind it. He's got the runner in the way.
Fajardo jumps in behind the runner, Mackey. Comes to the plate. He'll swing that. Fouled straight back. Barnstormers bullpen is quiet. It's Bennett who's warming in the majors. You'd have some move in the Barnstormers pen. We'll see if they pick it back up when they go to the field. 2-2 the count to Marin. Chokes up. Here he comes. And he'll spike that off to third. It's going to be a tough play. Mackey goes into left field. Mackey gets up, and he's going to score, and moving to second is Goodwin. A wild pitch. We'll get the run to third, and the error will bring him home.
That was a surprise in that situation. We're focusing on the first baseman.
Mackey looked like he might have been dead to rights.
Could have been with yeah. He had to hurry the throw after picking the ball up.
A little late start from Mackey on the wild pitch. Manages to get there. Verhoeven rushes the throw, throws it into left field. And the Barnstormers have a lead again. It's 4-3. And now Morin will find a hole. On his horse is Goodwin, and they're going to hold him at third. Sugi was charging hard.
Coming off his leg injury, too, his lower body injury. And
smart play
he
there.
Was held, yep.
Don Bernard.
Good clutch hitting by Morin.
So Spencer gets a base hit, and Trent Sillett comes up, had a double in the third.
Just 1 out, so you got runner can score from third on a fly ball.
And chanted at the manager will take a deliberate stroll out to the
team meeting.
Colby Ring.
Everybody on the team is on the mound, except for the outfielders.
Nate Bennett is ready if needed. It doesn't look like he's going to get the call here. They'll stick with Ring.
Got a left-handed batter on deck, too, with Morrison.
They want to see if he can get to this bottom of the order and maybe go lefty versus lefty.
Yeah.
Nate Bennett's only
it's going the other way.
Got 2 innings under his belt, but he is ready if needed. That's the thing with these midweek games. It's still a working man's league, where a lot of these guys are working full time. So to get here, from out of town, if London was expecting a handful to be missing tonight. A lot of them still working full time, so makes it a little tough.
Midweek games got to be a chore. You're fortunate to the 1 hour drive. You're not heading up to Barrie,
yeah, you're right,
a place like that, but still tough.
Ring drops in the first one, gets ahead in the count 0-1. Sillett just popped one to right field, and it just kept drifting, and finally went off the field house. Ended up at second with a double. Came around to score on the Fukuda single. Spikes another one, and Morin hustling into second. We'll move ahead.
I don't know whether they went on the bounce ball or just sort of a delayed steal. That was hard to follow.
Barnstormers near the bottom of the league in stolen bases. That's going to be a wild pitch to advance them.
They've been caught stealing a bunch.
Yeah, they'll get them gun shy, right?
Yeah.
Well, now they'll come in. The infield's in, right on the grass. And if you're Trent Sillett, you're just thinking, man, I got a lot of room to work here with a couple of runners in scoring position. 1-1 count to the first baseman. An off-speed pitch high. Arias went 5 innings. Allowed just the 3 runs. Colby Ring here in the 6th. Has got a strikeout here, but the Barnstormers have got one, and they're threatening for more. Sillett swings through that. Come back with the heat.
He can rear back. He's got juice when he wants it.
But you got to respect that curveball, too. They've been dropping that in. Spiked a couple of them here in the inning, though.
Yeah. He's been bouncing the curve.
Morin, the runner at second. Good one at third. The batter is Sillett into the game, batting 133. 4 RBIs. And that one down the third base line. It gets by him. Bad hop on Niles. Hustling around is Morin. No play at the plate. And 2 will score. That's some barn ball. And it'll be a base hit. And 2 RBIs for Trent Sillett.
And we took advantage of the long grass in left field again. The ball didn't get to the left fielder, and our runner scored easily from second base. Timely hit by Trent.
That'll give him some confidence. He's had a good game over at first, too, fielding his position well and on base for the second time. A double, a single, and 2 RBIs. 2 for 3 for Trent Sillett and the Barnstormers with a 6-3 lead. Inside.
Morrison's been quiet tonight. He's 0 for 3. Came in with a .444 batting average.
Struck out looking, struck out swinging, and then grounded to the shortstop. Fajardo's at double play depth. Playing over in the hole is Harrison. That's knuckled towards short. Fajardo's going to drop it. That was a smart play. Are they calling a infield fly? He's going to be safe, so.
They dropped the ball, hoping to get the double play on purpose, so it was called.
Tried a big brain play there, and don't blame him.
Nope.
But he called a.
They called it an out.
An out.
Yeah. Fly ball to shortstop.
So Lee Kucera now comes up with 2 outs in the inning. Runner over at first is Sillett. They hold him on, and Kucera has struck out his last 2 times up looking. Inside, and he's not getting help on that one. That's a strike. Due up to start the next inning is Verhoeven, the catcher. Left-handed batter for the Majors. And now another shot up the middle. It'll get through. Kucera got just enough of that one to muscle it by the diving Harrison. Runners will advance. And now Roop Chanderdat will make the long walk out, and that'll be the end of the night for Colby Ring as he goes 2/3 of an inning. Hands up with a strikeout. Three runs will score. Nate Bennett will stride to the plate. 0-0 record, 4.50 ERA. This will be his fourth game. He's got one save. Just 2 total innings. In those 2 innings, 3 walks and 5 strikeouts. 3 runs, 2 of them will earn for Colby Ring. He'll get the 1 strikeout, no walks. 2 wild pitches will come back to hurt him as well.
Well, we got our timely hits that we haven't been getting, Chris. Seems to be what was lacking on Sunday in Toronto. We were getting on base, but we weren't moving runners, and tonight they certainly have stepped up and done a good job.
So look at how our night started here tonight. Doug Melvin night here at the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers game. And there's Doug, who joined us for the first few innings. There you see all 3 of the pencil drawings by Lucy Thrift, who's right there between Dom Donnell and the general manager, Harry Muir. 19 years old. I believe she's a CK student? You're going to take credit for it.
She was a CK student. I don't know if she's gone on with her education or not. Yeah. I do not know her, but she certainly is an artist.
Talent.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, good to catch up with Doug, former general manager of the Texas Rangers and the Milwaukee Brewers. He ended streaks in each city. For the playoffs for each team. Got them in there after a long run. I had written down, we asked Doug, a trade you look back on and you think, man, I'm glad I pulled this string on that one. The Esteban Loaiza, because I was a Blue Jays fan.
Yeah.
Jays were looking for a pitcher, and he traded Esteban Loaiza to the Jays, and getting back was Michael Young, who ended up being
that was
right up
trade.
the middle for Texas, and he was a legend there. So just wondering if you had mentioned that one, and yes, he did. Itsuki Fukuda comes to the plate now.
Been on 3 times.
8th hitter in the inning, yeah. 8th hitter in the inning. He's got a couple of RBIs. 2 runners on. Over at second is Trent Sillett. Lee Kusura just singled to drive Colby Ring from the game. 5 strikeouts in 2 innings for Bennett. Looks like he'll be around the plate. Fukuda will sky one. The second baseman, Harrison, settles underneath of it. That's a long way up there, and he'll finally get underneath of it. 1 pitch, 1 out. That's the way you do it coming out of the bullpen. As Bennett gets out of the inning. 3 hits, 3 runs for the Barnstormers. They're up 6-3 now. Barnstormers TV is brought to you by Kent Essex Mutual Insurance, Ontario's trusted insurance provider.
Flip into the best summer ever at Great Lakes Gymnastics. Our PA Day, March break, and summer camps are packed with gymnastics, games, crafts, and nonstop fun, all in a safe, state-of-the-art facility. Spots are filling fast, so register today.
My name is Spencer Marcus, outfielder for the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers from Chatham, Ontario. The community support has been amazing for baseball. Everybody coming together. You never really thought of this town as a baseball town, more of a hockey town. I remember when I found out that Kent Essex Mutual Insurance wanted to do an interview about a hometown hero. I never thought somebody would look at just a baseball player like that. It takes a lot of support to make this team a success, and the Barnstormers wouldn't be where they are today without help from sponsors like Kent Essex Mutual Insurance.
Get ready, Hamilton. It's the 2025 IBL Home Run Derby and All-Star Game. Hosted by the Hamilton Cardinals at beautiful Bernie Arbor Stadium. Watch the league's top sluggers crush moonshots in the Derby. Then see the best of the best go head-to-head under the lights in the All-Star Game. Grab your tickets now at HamiltonCardinals.com, because this summer, the stars shine brightest in Hamilton.
Barnstormers TV back. We're into the top of the 7th now. Barnstormers with a 6-3 lead, and A defensive change for the Barnstormers. Timmy Wagner Jr. in for Trent Sillett, who has had a heck of a game tonight over at first and just had a big 2 RBI single in the bottom of the 6th. And Eric Pettipies will take over on the mound. Brock Whitson came to get Yuri Okada-Yokoyama out of a jam in the 6th inning. He goes a third of an inning, 2 batters faced. The first batter swung at the first pitch. Then he gets a strikeout to get out of the inning. It was Ken Essex who struck out swinging to end the inning. And we'll start with Brad Verhoeven, the catcher, the 8th hitter, and then Adam Harrison, the 9th hitter, before we go back to the top of the order.
Pettipies has been really effective in the last 2 outings. He was very effective on Saturday night, pitching the 7th and 8th, I believe. And I mentioned on Saturday night he had a Tommy John surgery and never pitched. He didn't pitch for a year until last July. So it's quite a comeback for Eric.
Verhoeven got on last time up at the 5th inning with an error to the second baseman Morrison. So lefty versus lefty. Pettipies will start here.
Pettipies is also another London native hailing from Dorchester. Parents are both in Chatham, but they settled in Dorchester.
Knuckled over the head of Mackey, and that's a dirty little shot there, but Goodwin's going to try, and that's not going to end up in a...
Not a good choice. That's what happens. Yeah. Little league guys get throwing the ball around.
That was hit right where they were not. That's a base hit there. So leadoff batter gets on. Verhoeven's on for the second time in the last 3 innings. And it'll be Adam Harrison. Adrian Harrison, sorry. Second baseman. 2:41 coming into the game. That one fell right back into the Barnstormers on deck circle. Top of 7 here at Fergie Jenkins Field. Crowd still pretty strong. On a Tuesday night, the first Tuesday of 4 Tuesdays in the regular season for the Barnstormers. And he'll get the call. Or he will not. It's 1-1. Home plate umpire Stephen Gomes looked like he wanted to pull the trigger on that one.
It did look like he was going to go up with the right arm.
Not that one. It's inside.
Better of it, I guess.
4-game winning streak for the Majors coming into this game, sitting 10-4 on the year. 2 games behind the Welland Jackfish, the Barnstormers at 7-6. Third place, 4.5 back. And Harrison will pop this up on the right side out to get it. It's going to fall to Morrison now. He settles underneath.
Hold him off. It's good. Good play. Always give way to the outfielder.
Track back until they call you off, right?
That's right.
Morrison went all the way out there and Morin settled underneath of it.
A lot easier catching ball going toward it than looking over your shoulder and running backwards and spinning. And
well, it hasn't been easy tonight either because that wind is...
It's shifted. Well, it's not so much now. It looked like it was going across last inning.
Saw a hit earlier in the game take an odd flight path out to right field. So 1 out now, back to the top of the order. Runner on first is Verhoeven, the catcher. Toby Simmons from the Bahamas. I know he's got some family watching the game here on our Barnstormers TV tonight. Toby, the leadoff batter. 333 coming in, couple of home runs. 3 to be exact on the season. They like his offense, they like his defense.
Good player. Can certainly move very quick.
He got on to start the game with a bunt, was thrown out at first. It's been on a couple of times, grounded out to shortstop last time. It took a Sadler Goodwin arm across the diamond to get him. Fajardo waits on deck, the shortstop. Pettipies dealing here to the leadoff hitter. Two and two. Just crossing your screen was Chatham-Kent counselor Marjorie Crew. I heard somebody yell, Marjorie. You don't have to say much. She's a Detroit Tigers fan. I don't see eye to eye on a few things. Inside, that was right at the feet. Again, one of those pitches that I'm not sure how he got out of the way of that.
They're quick in all ways. Yeah.
Yes. Full count pitch now. There's one out in the inning. Catcher's over at first. He hasn't strayed too far. And he'll get him swinging. Strikeout brought to you by Scott Curry, TD Wealth Financial Planner. Whether you are planning for retirement or starting a new business, Scott is here to help guide you every step of the way. 2 outs now in the inning.
Big strikeout. If for no other reason to keep him off the base pass.
Fajardo, the batter now. Came into the game. There you see his numbers. Switch hitting shortstop. No, not a switching. I'm sorry. A left-handed switching shortstop against the left-handed batter. Inside, will get the call. Hit by pitch in the 3rd inning. He hit a shot back in the 1st to get on. And was doubled up on the Zadunik line drive to first. Just look at Timmy Wagner Jr., the first baseman that's come in to replace Trent Sillett. Pettipiece, the pitcher here this inning as well. 1-1. Foul back to the screen.
Eric was throwing his fastball. He was turning it over a little bit on Saturday night. He was sort of getting a screwball action and breaking into a left-handed batter.
Ahead in the count here to the shortstop, Fajardo. He'll get a weak swing there, just protecting the plate. That gets out of play.
Could have gets out of that catcher squat in a hurry, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm. One and two the count. 2 outs in the air. Verhoeven is leadoff batter, hit a single and hasn't moved from first. Inside, gets him looking. Back-to-back strikeouts. Another strikeout brought to you by Scott Curry, TD Wealth Financial Planner. Whether you're planning for retirement or starting a new business, Scott is here to help guide you every step of the way. More coming up as we go to the 7th inning stretch. Barnstormers TV, presented by Kent Essex Mutual Insurance, Ontario's trusted insurance provider.
Whether personal, agricultural, or commercial, Inyo Pest Advisors are here. Inyo. Bigger than bugs.
Hard line drive up the middle. Whoa! Lindor out of nowhere. How did he do that?
That Lindor can play. I don't know about that hair. And don't get me started on those gloves.
No, I kind of like it.
It's time for a revolution. The Ref 1X by Rollins.
Bottom of 7, the Barnstormers have a 6-3 lead. And Nate Bennett stays in the game here for the London Majors. Got a pop out to Mitsuki Fukuda on one pitch to get out of the inning. Yu Shinoda, Robert Mackey, and Braxton Haggith do up this inning.
So if we could add to our lead. Pretty much even in hits. London having 9, we have 8. with 2 errors, with 1 error.
3 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors for the Majors. 6 runs, 8 hits, 1 error for the hometown Barnstormers. As Oda comes to the plate now. Yushin was walked earlier in the game. I believe that's the only walk of the game so far for the Majors. Grounded to first and grounded to second. 0 for 2.
I got 2. I got Fukuda walking in the 5th.
Yeah, you're right.
I could be
you're
wrong.
right. A couple of walks.
Neither here nor there, but
I said Ed,
not a lot of walks.
Don't ever correct me.
No.
Let me fail on my own here.
No, the point being that there's been very few walks.
Yeah.
In some of the games that we did last year, the games were filled with walks.
Pitchers, all pitchers tonight have been around the strike zone. Nate Bennett now the third pitcher for the Majors. Inside, we'll get a strike on Yoshinoda. He falls behind 0-2. Yoshin with that bat out in front of him. And he strokes one to left center. That's going to drop in front of Simmons. And he gets his first hit of the night to lead off the inning.
Stuck in there, got good wood on the ball, didn't overswing.
Robert Mackey came around to score last time up. He's got the go-ahead run in this game so far. Back in the first inning, he hit a shot to center.
I think we were talking about whether they'll bunt or not, but I think they'll play for a big inning. Oh, they're going to.
Yeah. Don't you
been
hate
wrong,
when that happens?
Yeah, I've been wrong a couple times tonight.
Okay, I think we're even now.
Yeah. Oh, probably. I'm way behind the game. But, when we thought they might bunt, they didn't. And, this time I thought they might.
The square again. He offers it that one. Hustling back to first was Oda. They're trying to throw him behind him. So 1-1 the count. Didn't offer it the first, offered the second. Josh Niles, the third baseman, is coming in from that side of the field quickly. Mackey will see if he's going to square again or if they took the play off. Banna looks over his shoulder. Oda gets the lead. He's going to dive back. And you saw Mackey slide the hand up the bat there.
Yeah. Tipping is next step.
Crowd goes quiet here once again, expecting something as Mackey, no sign. He's going to swing away, and that one is high. Now, if you're Josh Niles, the third baseman, you maybe take a step back.
Yeah, it's a tough situation if you're third baseman.
And Rodon taking the play off. We'll see if he puts it back on. 2-1 now with Oda over at first. Squares to bunt. Nice bunt. Puts it down in front of Niles. He'll circle that ball. Get it over to first. And Mackey.
Rolled his ankle, I think.
He looked like he rolled his ankle over there on first as he was trying to beat that out. They're going to get him out. But Robert Mackey rolls it over and quickly out there to get some attention. Yeah, Colin Goodrow's going to have a look. Mackey's going to walk it off. Sack bunt for him. Remove the runner over. See if Mackey's going to be all right. Third baseman tonight. We'll see if he comes back into the game. So runner at second is Yoshinoda. Barnstormers up by 3, and now Braxton Haggett, who went down looking in the 6th.
Time for Braxton to pop out of his bit of a slump.
Hangs that bat back and forth. 1 out in the inning. Outside, strike 1. Isn't that the way where every call goes against you when you're swinging a cold bat?
Yep. And you start over focusing and trying too hard, and same old thing. Try to relax, right? Well, easier said than done.
Now he's swinging outside the zone, 0-2.
Just doesn't look comfortable yet.
Here's Shinoda, the runner at second base. And now Haggoth will roll over. One will advance the runner to third, but he'll be thrown out 4-3 over at first. So now 2 outs in the inning. Sadler Goodwin scored a couple runs tonight. Home run. Tied it at 3, and then he walked the last time up, last inning, come around to score. Side.
Home run was an interesting looking thing. You said you thought he hit it on the end of the bat, and he didn't swing hard at it at all. He just caught it in the meaty part of the bat, and over the fence it went. Didn't look like he swung very hard at it at all.
Into the maple trees out there in right center. Another off the end of the bat here would be fined by Gail Rodon, the manager of the Barnstormers. 6-3 lead, but why not add a couple more here? Bottom of 7. Inside pitch, 2-1.
One extra run would really, you never know when you need it. Nice to single it in. Whatever.
And RBIs for Sadler so far in the season. And he's going to get rung up on the outside. 2-2. Fans starting to get into it. Want to see a big one here. And now Sadler Goodwin to left field. Does he get enough? No, right to the glove. No, he's going to drop it, and it's going to come around to score. Sugi down to a knee. That was hit right to him. And another error.
That was my view of that right there.
You missed it.
I was looking right at the frame in the window. We'll take that. And ironically, the same score as the Tiger game tonight now. 7-3 Tigers won tonight.
That's the third error of the night to the majors, and that's going to hurt.
Hit hard right at him.
And Sugi just went down to a knee. Upset with himself there. Well, the Barnstormers add to the lead, 7-3. Now, runner over at first is Goodwin, who's been on 3 times tonight. Swings through that. Spencer had a single last time up, came around to score. Scored the 6th run of the night, now up to 7. Behind in the count, 0-2. And he'll go down, and they'll complete the strikeout over at first.
In the bottom of 7, for the Barnstormers, 1 run.
Barnstormers will score 1. And they lead by 4. We'll go to the top of the 8th. Barnstormer TV is brought to you by Kent Essex Mutual Insurance, Ontario's trusted insurance provider.
My name is Spencer Marcus, outfielder for the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers from Chatham, Ontario. The community support has been amazing for baseball. Everybody coming together. You never really thought of this town as a baseball town, more of a hockey town. I remember when I found out that Kent Essex Mutual Insurance wanted to do an interview about a hometown hero. I never thought somebody would look at just a baseball player like that. It takes a lot of support to make this team a success, and the Barnstormers wouldn't be where they are today without help from sponsors like Kent Essex Mutual Insurance.
It's us again. Enyo Pest Advisors, 226-627-4939. 4944. And yo, bigger than bugs.
The second annual Barnstormers Golf Tournament takes place Tuesday, July 15th at Willow Ridge Golf and Country Club. Barnstormers' own Garrett Day will also be in attendance. To register, contact us at the emails on screen.
Looking for a fun, active way to keep your kids moving? At Great Lakes Gymnastics, our recreational classes are all about building strength, coordination, and confidence, all while having a blast. And when it's time to celebrate, we throw birthday parties kids will never forget, packed with games, gymnastics, and tons of smiles. In our safe, state-of-the-art facility, every child gets the chance to shine. Join the fun at Great Lakes Gymnastics, where every day feels like a celebration.
Barnstormers TV back. It is top of 8 now. Barnstormers add on up 7-3. 7 runs, 9 hits, 1 error for the Barnstormers. 3 runs, 9 hits, 3 errors for the Majors. And a big error last inning on Kenneth Sugi, the left fielder, who dropped a liner right at him. A hard hit ball, but all you need to catch. Barnstormers will take the insurance run. Zadunik now up to bat. Flew out to the left fielder last time out, but has a 3-run home run in this one. That's all the damage from the Majors tonight. And Pettipe stays in the game. Aiden Ryan is warming, but we got a couple of lefties due up. Zadunik, Dolio's a righty, and then Wrightstein is the right fielder. And that one fouled back, probably out towards the intersection of Tweedsmuir and Queen. Fans trying to slip out of here. Some of them have to get going home. Late night now as the 50-50 draw has been done. See a lot of Majors fans that made the trip down as well. Outside and no call, 1-2, or rather 2-2.
Could head to Mike's after and have a bite to eat and slide back to London.
Yeah, get the chance to get here. Likewise, see Barnstormer fans going up to Labatt Park, so good to have that closeness. There's another shot to right field. Marin diving. Did he catch it? And he did. What a gem. Zadunik is going to keep running until he gets the word. Now he's got it. Spencer Marin will put a red star next to that one. A diving catch for Spencer.
Spencer's one of our younger players, too, eh? Is he 22 yet?
Ask and you shall receive. I don't know.
He's
the one player without a birthday on the list.
That figures, right?
Dolio now, as Pettipe will stay in. And that's going to get out of play on the right side. 1 out in the inning now. Top 8. And get through this middle portion of the Majors lineup. And a 4-run lead here is Dolio, the catcher. And a single back in the second. Struck out and a pop up to the shortstop. And he is going to hit that one hard, and it's going to get out to left field. And Haggith cuts it off quickly. Will hold him to a single. Good work closing that gap. Dolio hit that hard.
Sort of laid that one out right down the middle of the plate. That was too good of a hitter to miss that.
Yeah. A couple of hits now for Dolio. He's over at first. He'll stay in the game, a designated hitter. That's now the right fielder. Been on base a couple of times. A couple of singles inside. Chandered at the manager said Wrightstein is really his last vet that's still kind of around the team full time. Cleveland Brownlee is still with the Majors. He's also coaching his son's team and still involved when he can be. Obviously one of those legends of the IBL. But plays limited at bats for the team now.
He's been with the team for 20 years. Seems like it anyway. I'm not sure how long.
Yeah, Rip said he's one of those guys you can go to in the clubhouse, but also a guy that'll hit fungos during the practices and certainly pass along his knowledge as Pettipe pumps one in. It's 2-1. Chopper towards first. Wagner Jr. comes over. He's going to get it back to Pettipiece. Did he barehand that?
Yep. Good play. Awkward play for both of them. He didn't have an angle between the two of them.
Looked like Wagner thought for a minute about going to second, and Pettipiece hustled to cover.
Good athletic play by both of them, actually. It wasn't conventional.
It was kind of behind him,
too.
too.
Yeah.
And being the glove on the right hand, he barehands it. That I'll put a little red star next to that. We have a couple nice plays here this inning.
Mm-hmm.
Spencer Marin, the diving stop, and then that one, too, to get 2 outs. Josh Niles about an out, the third baseman. A single in his last at-bat back of the 6th. Well outside. Dolio's going to get to third. Is he? Fukuda on the money. Got him! 3 defensive web gems. And the Barnstormers get out of the 8th inning. 7-3 Barn. It's Barnstormers TV, presented by Kent Essex Mutual Insurance, Ontario's trusted insurance provider.
Attention business owners and marketers. Imagine your brand in front of a live, engaged audience, right here, right now. This space is the perfect opportunity to showcase your product, service, or message to viewers in real time. Whether you're looking to boost sales, build awareness, or grow your audience, we've got you covered. Don't wait. Secure your spot today.
Still selling critical illness insurance. Still selling retirement savings plans. Still selling group benefit plans. Still selling life insurance. Still selling disability insurance.
Are you selling insurance? Not today. Play ball.
Hey Barnstormer fans, want to win a $50 gas card just for cheering on your favorite team? Grab your phone right now and snap a selfie of you and your family and friends watching Barnstormers TV. Follow and tag at CK Barnstormers and Kent Essex Mutual Insurance at KE Mutual on Instagram. You need both tags and follows to qualify for the selfie contest. At CK Barnstormers and at KE Mutual. Share your selfie before the end of the game for a chance to win a $50 gas card.
The Chatham Barnstormers.
Barnstormers back here in the bottom of the 8th now. They've got the sticks to swing, and they've got a 4-run lead and an inning full of some defensive gems. Spencer Morin starts off with a diving stop. Timmy Wagner Jr. flips to Derek Pettipiece, who catches it barehanded. And then Eduardo Dolio, I'm sure is probably sitting in the dugout right now thinking, yeah, I probably should have stayed at second.
We were trying to guess how far Fukuda had to throw the ball. Probably went 15, 20 feet to the right of the plate. Yeah. He picked it up and threw a one-on-one motion, a strike to third base, got him out by a couple of strides.
Popped originally out of Fukuda's glove just far enough away, and Dolio didn't get a good jump off a second, but might have heard something from the dugout, and he took off running, and Fukuda had him dead to rights at third. First baseman Tim Wagner Jr. is going to get his first at-bat of the game. In to replace defensively Trent Sillett about 2 innings ago. Sillett had a great night. 2 RBIs, couple of hits, some great plays over at first. You see Wagner's numbers. A home run, 4 RBIs. Gets in the 9-hole here before the top of the order. Morrison and Kuchera waiting. Chopper to Niles at third, stays down on it, comes up with it. Made an error earlier in the game. We'll get this one. Across the diamond, just 1 pitch. Out of the inning for Jonathan Henry, who's now into the game. The Whitby native is 0-1 on the season, a 14.29 ERA that's just dropped there with that out. 5 2/3 innings overall in the season. Nate Bennett goes 1 1/3 and 19 pitches before he's out of the game. And Morrison here, who's had a tough night, 0 for 4 tonight. And Morrison's going to turn one around and watch it go! Home run! Oh, that'll put it all behind him. 8-4 Barn, and that's some barn ball for you. Evan Morrison turns the Jonathan Henry shot around and puts it out. second home run of the season for the Barnstormers rookie second baseman.
Now batting number 13, Lee Sarah.
And now Kucera swinging at the first one. Some timely hits tonight, Ed, and your keys to success. That was one of the things you mentioned. Hit when needed.
Yeah. It's easy to suggest that. Much harder to do. And Morrison has been nothing but a good ball player for his short time in Chatham. He was late getting here. Mm-hmm. As we said earlier, Grand Valley State, which is just outside Grand Rapids, Michigan.
And now Kucera will foul one down the line.
Steady diet of curveballs.
It's only been 2 games that Evan Morrison has not had a hit.
I believe he had 4 in the game that we saw in London.
4 for 5. Kucera hustling. That's going to get through up the middle. And he's on for the second time, the third time tonight. A single for Kucera. Filling in for Spencer Marcus tonight.
Good for Lee.
Back to Morrison. Yeah, he's had a 5 for 5 night, a 4 for 5 night. Tonight, looked like he was taking it on the chin. Hits a bomb. It's 8-4.
No doubter.
Suki Fukuda will come to the plate, and a couple of RBIs early in the game here. He's been on base 3 times tonight. Popped out to the second baseman his last time out. Barnstormers a 4-run lead. And that's in the dirt. Kucera's not going to waste any time, and he'll hustle all the way down to second, get there at a wild pitch.
Notice Fukuda's really relaxed at the plate. He shortens up on the bat, and he hits a long ball. There's no doubt about that. But he's very, very relaxed.
Jonathan Henry inside, and Fukuda maybe a little more protection than anything on that one.
That will make him less relaxed.
Yeah, I would say so. One and one out. Sarah, the runner on first. Run in already. Evan Morrison's second IBL home run to right field. And he knew it. He watched it.
Hey, cover.
2-1. Inside. Fukuda ahead in the count now, 3-1.
Now out hit London 11-10.
3 errors too. The last one was last inning, and it was a third out drop by the left fielder on a ball that was hit right to him. A couple errors earlier in the game too have come back to bite them. They're most errors in the IBL. They came in with 35 up to 38 now on the season, 14 games. Fukuda, an off-speed pitch, fouls it off. 1 out in the inning.
The breeze has actually cooled off since we've been here.
Yeah, it has. On such a hot day today, expected a warm one tonight, but a beautiful night at the ballpark. Inside, Fukuda's going to get a walk. And he's on now for the third time tonight. Yoshinoda will stride to the plate.
Number 8, Yoshinoda.
Yushin had a single his last time up. Walked earlier in the game. Swinging away at the first one up there, Hackett. Barnstormers looking to beat the London Majors for the first time in the 7th ever matchup between these two teams. Henry to the plate. Oda puts one to right field. Right down there, tagging and hustling over to third will be Kucera. Holding at first is Fukuda.
Good base running by Lee. Went back to the base immediately. Was able to tag up to advance to third.
So now 2 outs in the inning, 1 run in. Barnstormers an 8-3 lead. I wonder if that's Garrett Day. I'm trying to get a look at the bullpen for the Barnstormers. It's not a safe situation. We did see Pettipies walk back towards the field house. We believe he's out of the game.
But could that be Garrett? It looks like a tall guy throwing. I'm looking under the sign there.
Yeah. From our view, it's like a little slip in the fence. So we got to kind
we
of.
need younger eyes.
We'll tell you it's a right-handed pitcher. We'll see if he's coming in. Strike here to Mackey, who stayed in the game. He laid down a sac bunt last time up and then rolled over first base and looked worse than it was. 2 outs in the inning. And Mackey towards short. Fajardo there. Gets in front of it. Has to hustle to second as Fukuda makes it close, but he's out. And a fielder's choice.
1 run on 2 hits from a bomb by Evan Morrison.
And the Barnstormers with an 8-3 lead to the top of the 9th now. It's Barnstormers TV, brought to you by Kent Essex Mutual Insurance, Ontario's trusted insurance provider.
The Chatham Barnstormers have multiple summer camp opportunities available. Chatham's week-long summer camp from July 7th to 11th. Leamington's week-long summer camp from July 14th to the 18th. Then we head back to Chatham from July 21st to 25th. Wallaceburg's summer camp between July 28th and August 1st. And finally, Dresden's summer camp between August 4th and the 8th. Contact us today at the email on screen.
My name is Spencer Marcus, outfielder for the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers from Chatham, Ontario. The community support has been amazing for baseball. Everybody coming together. You never really thought of this town as a baseball town, more of a hockey town. I remember when I found out that Kent Essex Mutual Insurance wanted to do an interview about a hometown hero. I never thought somebody would look at just a baseball player like that. It takes a lot of support to make this team a success, and the Barnstormers wouldn't be where they are today without help from sponsors like Kent Essex Mutual Insurance.
At Great Lakes Gymnastics, it all starts with our state-of-the-art 12,000 square foot facility built to inspire movement, confidence, and growth. From preschool to recreational classes, our programs are safe, structured, and designed to help every child thrive. For athletes with big goals, our competitive team trains year-round with experienced coaches and competes across Ontario. Whether you're just getting started or aiming for the podium, Great Lakes Gymnastics is where greatness begins.
Barnstormer TV back into the top of the 9th, and the Barnstormers looking to wrap this one up. London Majors in a 4-game winning streak. Barnstormers trying to snap just a 1-gamer after their 5-game winning streak was blocked on Sunday's loss to the Toronto Maple Leafs. And there's Garrett Day, the tall golfer who's also a heck of a pitcher, too. 14 relief points this year. He's got 4 saves and a win.
A 1.68 ERA.
Ty Mosier is into pinch hit for Josh Niles. Niles a third baseman, so Mosier an infielder as well will go in if needed here. Inside. Mosier, a kid from Dutton, batting 176 in the season. Got a home run, 2 RBIs. Looking to get on here. They need 5. Need a bunch of runners. Day slides one up there, gets behind in the count, 3-0. In this situation, not a save situation. So
well, he did good work in the middle of the week. He pitched Saturday night, 9th, and be ready for Friday, Saturday, Sunday weekend if needed.
Barnstormers with a 3-3, all against the Barrie Baycats. Harry Muir was saying that, you know, kind of a taste of what it's like playing in the minors, and if ever so lucky to get to the majors, a 3-game series all in the same place. That one swung and fouled straight back. And Gide has battled back to a full count now. Inside, and he's going to walk him. Garrett thought maybe he had a opportunity there, so now we have a pinch hitter. And it's Jagan Chanderdat, who will get a chance to swing the bat here for his dad, Roop, who is team owner, co-owner, general manager, and manager of the London Majors. So Chanderdat here, an infielder, will get a chance to swing with the Majors behind by 5. Runner on, no outs in the 9th. Garrett having a tough time finding the strike zone. Chanderdat swinging through that. Leads up the count at 1-1. And not going to get the call again. 2-1. Stephen Gomes.
Getting the fans all riled up.
Garrett Day comes across. That catches the outside corner. Mosier holding on at first. Timmy Wagner Jr. is holding him there. Day sets and he deals. Chanderdat looking for that hole. Morrison closes it up, gets it to first. We'll throw him out. But advancing to second is Mosier. Gets the first down of the inning. Brad Verhoeven now, the catcher, will stride to the plate. He'll stay in the game. No, he won't. We'll take that back. Getting a chance to swing the bat will be Charlie Bowman now. When I was talking to Roop today, he said, I get opportunity to get some guys in the game when I can get them in the game. If we're ahead, we're behind. I like to get the guys that are at bats when they can get them. It'll only help us in the long run. So here's Charlie Bowman, who's going to get a chance to swing here in the bottom of the 9th. He's behind 0-1. Mosier, the runner, over at second. You get a look at him. And there's one foul. He got a round on that one. Ahead in the count, 0-2. 0-2 and 1 out in the inning. Garrett looks back at second, quickly comes to the plate. And that one chopped right to Fukuda. He's going to go to first. He'll get the out, and that's just Fukuda being good defensively, hopping out from behind the plate.
Take the out. Don't worry about the guy going to third. Wasn't even a consideration of his. So he is as quick as a cat. He gets out there.
Don't waste any time. He's got a couple of caught stealings again tonight. He's up to 11 overall in the season. You do not run him. Suzuki Fukuda as Adrian Harrison. Last hope for the Barnstormers, or rather for the Majors, to get something going here. They got a runner waiting on third with 2 outs in the inning. So right field, that's going to get out of play and slices out there.
Both of those field lines dip about 2/3 of the way down. It's hard to see that corner in right or left.
1-1 the count. Here's Garrett Day to the plate with 2 outs. Well outside, and Fukuda hustles to it, and Mosier thinks better of coming home. They need 5, don't get thrown out of the plate. Fukuda is a cat back there, just quick reflexes. Even that pass ball, he hustled to get back to it.
His good body control. He's never really out of position. He's ready to play any situation.
2-1 here with 2 outs in the top of the 9th. To first, and that'll seal up the win. Timmy Wagner Jr. to the bag. Another unassisted play by the first baseman tonight. And the Barnstormers will snap the Majors 4-game winning streak. And for the first time ever in the history of the Barnstormers Majors, which is only 7 games long, the Barnstormers will get their first ever win. Now 1-6 career. Barnstormers will improve to 8-6 on the season. 4 games back now of the Welland Jackfish. 10-5 now for the Majors. They fall to 2.5 games behind. They both stay in second and third, respectively. 8-3 the final in this one. Had a lot of ups and downs in this one, and the Barnstormers got the hits when they needed them tonight, and they got some timely pitching too.
Yep, both. And as we said early on before the game, they haven't been getting the timely hits. And tonight they did. More than enough timely hits. Second time in Chatham in the last week. We've had very good relief pitching. And people are starting to fall into their roles. I was looking at Pettipies for the second time coming in toward the sort of a setup role. He was very effective, and followed by Garrett Day, who closed out the game. A good team effort by all, and we look forward to seeing them again come Friday night against Barrie.
3-3 this weekend. Barnstormers will get the win for Brock Whitson, who comes out of the bullpen, and he only has 2 batters to face. He gives up a hit in the first pitch, strikes out the next batter, but he gets that timely inning, and then the Barnstormers take the lead the next at-bats. Colby Ring had a tough outing tonight. Will take the loss for the London Majors. Our player of the game is going to need a translator, so I think I'm giving it away a little bit. But Peter Cobb is downfield level. We'll go to him now.
The first time the Barnstormers have beat the London Majors. And we're chasing them down. They're in second place, but our Barnstormers are right on their heels. Hey, folks, my player of the game tonight, how about it? What a catcher we have in Mitsuki Fukuda! All right, tonight he was 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs, 2 walks, and he gunned down 2 Majors who thought for a moment they could steal. Mitsuki, tremendous game. Listen, you got a cannon for an arm. Nobody should be running on Mitsuki Fukuda.
去年いっぱい盗塁されちゃったんで、今年はピッチャーを助けれるようにこの冬の期間、セカンドをさすためにいっぱい練習してきました。
Last year I gave up a lot of, I let a lot of people steal off of me. So this year during the offseason I worked a lot on trying to get good throws to second base, get as many guys out as possible.
And Mitsuki, you are batting in that 3 spot, sometimes the 4 spot, and your hitting has been exceptional.
今年は3か4で出るけど、まあチャンスで絶対回っていく打順だし、チャンス、ロンドン相手とかになるとチャンスが少なくなるから、その少ないチャンスをいかに3番、4番、5番とが返せるかがやっぱ強いチームに勝つための鍵だと思うんで、そこはギルに任せられている分しっかり期待に応えたいです。
So hitting 3-4 is a position where there's a lot of chances that come around. So I'm just doing my best to, especially against teams like London, where there's not that many chances that are going to come around. So all I'm doing is just trying to get as many runs in for the team as possible.
Hey, Jeff, cue out music, will you not? Those of you who are fans of Godzilla, like I am, this kid is Godzilla behind the plate. Mitsuki Fukuda.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Barnstormers with a big win here tonight, Ed. A 8-3 victory over the London Majors. I could listen to him at Mitsuki Fukuda post-game conversation with Peter Cobb all the time. How about that? Barnstormers win for the first time against the London Majors, but more importantly, they get a win here tonight to head into a busy weekend. They didn't burn up the bullpen, and this sets them up nicely for that 3-3 this weekend. Ed.
Yeah, they've been using their pitchers wisely, and pitchers have performed for them. And as you said, we didn't have to use a lot of pitchers, and everyone who was called upon did a great job. And we're looking forward to that 3-game series coming up against Barrie.
And I'll be back here in the booth with you on Friday. Mike Renier will take care of the rest of the weekend. Here's a look at the updated standings. The Welland Jackfish, there you see 12-2 on top. Not much changes standing-wise, but the Barnstormers improved to 8-6, and they get a big win here tonight, and they get that timely hitting that we've been waiting for. The win tonight for Brock Whitson. He's got 3 now on the season, comes out of the bullpen, faces just 2 batters, gets the victory, and Colby Ring will get the loss for the visiting London Majors. We good, Dad? Want to wrap her up?
Yep, that was quite a performance, and the games are getting better. That's 2 in a row we've watched in Chatham. Really exciting baseball games, and I can say that we're glad to be part of the Intercounty League, and we're watching some really good ball in Chatham.
And we'll see you here on the weekend. If not, we'll see you on Barnstormers TV. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Chris McLeod and Ed Meyers.